Chapter 1197. In Spirit Emperor Dojo. Fong Ping was still unclear about what was happening in the outside world. He did not stay too long with Wu Chuan and the others. After giving them some imperishable substances and origin qi, Fong Ping quickly left alone. Right now, he was a target. If he stayed with them, he would only harm them. He could trick old Zhang and Heavenly King, but he could not trick these people. If he was not careful, he would die. Saint Order. Dragon transformation. Fong Ping wanted to find the dragon transformation, Celestial Emperor, the most right now. He was considered one of his own. He seemed to have a Saint Order too. It should not be too difficult to get it. However, the dragon transformation Celestial Emperor had not shown up for the past few days. He did not know if he had gone into closed-door cultivation or to look for opportunities to extend his life. There were still some opportunities in Spirit Emperor Dojo. Fong Ping walked around cautiously. At the same time, deep in the space battlefield, the Sea Guardian, who had transformed into a ruthless young man, looked at Do Qian and Li Zhu with cold eyes. Borrow the sea calming mirror? How arrogant of you! Do Qian laughed. Sea Guardian, don't you want to kill Fong Ping? Fong Ping and the cat are together, and the cat has been eyeing the Sea Guardian for many years. Ha ha ha! The Sea Guardian burst out laughing. In the next moment, before Do Qian could react, the Sea Guardian attacked. Do Qian was about to break free when he suddenly found the void stagnant. Horror flashed in his eyes, and his mentality erupted rapidly. The small world appeared, blocking in front of him. There was a loud bang. The small world disappeared. Do Qian flew backward hundreds of meters, blood spilling from his mouth. A clear palm print appeared on his chest. The Sea Guardian sneered and snorted, his face full of disdain. Do Qian's expression changed. This place was really dangerous. As a Heavenly King powerhouse, he was not as powerful as a Heavenly King. Anyone could beat him up, and he could not fight back. Beside him, Li Zhu laughed. Sea Guardian, even if you don't want to borrow it, you don't have to do this, right? The Sea Guardian said coldly, ridiculous guy, arrogant. Go ask Fong, who gave you the right to sow discord between me and the cat. As soon as he finished, the Sea Guardian sneered and disappeared instantly. Li Zhu frowned slightly. Do Qian's expression was grim. At that moment, someone flew over from afar. Hong Yu. Hong Yu looked at the two of them and smiled gently. Both of you are too young. He was too young. Do Tian Sheng did not experience many things after the Heaven Realm was destroyed. Li Zhu had become younger. Heavenly Cat and Heavenly Dog have enemies and opponents, but they also have friends. The sea-suppressing emissary is not their friend, but their enemy. But the Heavenly Cat, Heavenly Hound saved its life. The two of them were surprised. What? 30,000 years ago, Chu, Wu, and Origin fought for supremacy. The Beast Emperor proved his Tao in the demon race. Back then, the Sea Guardian was already a Heavenly King. He wanted to prove his Tao and become a demon emperor. The Beast Emperor and the Sea Guardian have fought several times. Later on, the Beast Emperor succeeded in proving his Tao. Originally, according to the demon's habits, the Beast Emperor would not spare the Sea Protector Envoy if he failed in the battle for supremacy. Killing the Sea Protector Envoy was the first thing the Beast Emperor would do. That year, the Heavenly Cat, Heavenly Dog was still young. He broke into the Beast Emperor Palace and happened to see the Beast Emperor executing the sea-suppressing emissary. Whether it was intentional or not, the Heavenly Cat saw the Sea Guardian himself and said that he wanted to fish for food in the future. Could he spare him? Hong Yu smiled. The Beast Emperor was already a demon emperor. The sea-suppressing emissary was no threat. The Heavenly Cat spoke. The Beast Emperor suddenly felt that it was not a bad idea. Wouldn't it be wonderful if the sea-suppressing emissary became the heavenly cat's food, it's also a form of punishment, isn't it? So, the sea-suppressing emissary luckily escaped and was conferred the title of sea-suppressing emissary. Isn't there fish in the sea? Isn't it reasonable for the heavenly cat to fish? Hong Yu chuckled. That's why the heavenly cat often goes to the sea of misery to fish. It always fishes the sea-suppressing emissary, and the sea-suppressing emissary is the heavenly cat's biggest target because he's the fish he rears. It's been 30,000 years. Not many people know about what happened in the past, but the heavenly cat, heavenly dog, saved the sea-suppressing emissary's life. That's a fact. The heavenly cat wants to fish it, and the sea-suppressing emissary wants to deal with the heavenly dog. That's between them. Aren't you just causing trouble by getting involved? Hong Yu shook his head and smiled without saying a word. How could these people know the inside story? The sea-suppressing emissary had broken 7 years ago. Could the heavenly cat rival him? But the heavenly cat still went to the Sea of Misery to fish, not to mention the Spirit Emperor's protection. The Spirit Emperor was not familiar with the heavenly cat in the beginning. It was only after the cat-protecting captain died that the heavenly cat went to the Spirit Emperor Palace to eat and drink. Of course, not many people knew about this. 30,000 years had passed. These powerful people now probably only knew that the heavenly cat wanted to fish the sea-suppressing emissary. It would be a joke if Doqian used this to convince the sea-suppressing emissary. Doqian's expression changed. He said in a low voice, "The sea-suppressing emissary is on good terms with the heavenly cat." Doesn't that mean that he and Fang Ping, it's not exactly good terms? Hong Yu smiled faintly. The heavenly cat wants to fish. This is its instinct. It won't think too much about it. The sea-suppressing emissary also understands that if the heavenly cat becomes stronger, it will really fish it. So there's still a grudge between them. But like I said, this is their grudge. It has nothing to do with outsiders. You understand? Doqian finally understood. It might be possible to use other reasons to ask the sea-suppressing emissary to deal with Fang Ping, but they brought the heavenly cat along. The sea-suppressing emissary could not be bothered with them. He and the heavenly cat were really enemies. On one hand, the heavenly cat had saved him before. However, the heavenly cat's original intention was not to save him. For tens of thousands of years, the heavenly cat had been plotting against him. Li Zhu also understood. When he heard this, he laughed. "Prince Yu, then you mean..." Hong Yu laughed. "I'm not Hong Yu. I've said it before. Maybe you can call me the Nine Paths." "The Nine Paths?" Li Zhu laughed. "The Nine Paths? Or did you come back from the dead, and the Nine Paths made you who you are now? Whatever you say." Hong Yu laughed again. "Li Zhu, I've done you a favor. Why must you be so overbearing?" "Overbearing?" Li Zhu laughed. A favor, a favor. Doqian did not really understand. The two of them did not talk about this anymore. In the past, when they fought with the palm imprint emissary and killed him, it had something to do with Hong Yu. The tree of life bore fruits of life that could allow people to live another life. The tree of life needed to be fed by thousands of paths. There was a tree of life in Tianji Palace. When the three divine sect guardians appeared, the first person they came for was Li Zhu. There was no path in the gate of reflection that Zhang Tao took away, because the path was gone. Someone took it away. Li Zhu took it away. Or rather, the palm imprint emissary took it away, coming back from the dead, returning to his peak, and living another life. Just as the palm imprint emissary was about to return to his peak and destroy everything that existed in Li Zhu took advantage of his recovery to strike. That was why the palm imprint emissary died, and Li Zhu became the winner. And all of this was also guided by someone. Hong Yu. Li Zhu had been to the space battlefield in the past, with the 4 true gods guarding there, Without Hong Yu's cooperation, it would have been difficult for Li Zhu to get close to the origin core without being discovered. These secrets were only known to the two of them. Hong Yu changed the topic. Dou Qian saw this and did not probe further. He said in a low voice, "Prince Yu, since you've appeared, do you intend to kill Fang Ping? Does your highness have any suggestions?" Hong Yu laughed. "Don't misunderstand. I don't intend to kill." But Hong Yu continued, "Human king, human emperor, whether it's human king or human emperor, in the end, they have to return to one. You might not understand what I'm saying, but your master and Li Zhu might understand. Fang Ping and Zhang Tao. Fang Ping has yet to become a heavenly king. If he really becomes a heavenly king, he might have a battle to the death with Zhang Tao." Dou Qian's expression changed. "No way. I have some understanding of the two of them. You don't understand." Hong Yu laughed. Li Zhu thought about it and nodded. "Two tigers cannot live on the same mountain. Fang Ping is growing stronger rapidly now. He's actually already stealing something that belongs to Zhang Tao. If he really becomes an equal to Zhang Tao might be greatly affected." After that, he thought for a moment and said, "The Tao might even be eroded. It might become Fang Ping's Tao. Of course, Zhang Tao might replace him. Prince Yu's words have touched my heart. When the two of them are on the same level, they might really have a battle to the death. It's more likely that Zhang Tao will choose to merge and help Fang Ping. Their Taos are different. There are more than one or two humans who walk the human king path." Dou Qian still did not understand. Li Zhu laughed. "It's not the same. At Fang Ping and Zhang Tao's level, they could have formed their own lineage in ancient times. Li Zhen and the others did not have much to do with heavenly kings, but one was a former human king, and the other was a current human king. Fang Ping's and Zhang Tao's Taos were closely related to the human race. There was a high chance that they would clash. If one of them was always ahead, and the other was always behind, the clash would not be too big. However, when the two of them were close in strength, the clash would be huge. I don't know who is eroding whose Tao, but if I'm not wrong, one of them might be eroding his Tao." Hong Yu laughed. "That's right." Dou Qian asked hesitantly, "You mean to say we should just let it go? Let them fight among themselves?" He continued, "But if the real King Wu helped Fang Ping, wouldn't Fang Ping be even more powerful? That would be even more terrifying." "That's indeed troublesome." Li Zhu nodded. "It's too wishful thinking to expect them to fight among themselves and die. However, to shake their Tao, let the news out and see Fang Ping's reaction. Zhang Tao might know something, but he probably won't tell Fang Ping. No matter what he thinks, it might be effective to take the opportunity to discredit Zhang Tao and say that he's plotting against Fang Ping." However, Li Zhu did not have high hopes. He was still smiling. If Fang Ping knows, will he continue to be radical? Once he becomes a heavenly king, his origin star might clash with Zhang Tao. Will he dare to quickly become a heavenly king? He'll have some scruples. Dou Qian asked doubtfully, "Will that really happen?" "I don't know." Li Zhu laughed. "I only thought of it after Prince Yu mentioned it. Whether it's true or not, no one has done it before. How would I know?" Dou Qian was silent for a moment, then nodded. "All right, let's spread the news. Whether it's true or not, Fang Ping will probably hesitate for a while. At least, he won't rush to become a heavenly king." At this point, he could not help but say, "Both of you, it's so troublesome. Why don't we work together to kill Fang Ping?" The two of them smiled without saying a word. Dou Qian still did not understand some things. Killing Fang Ping, there were many things to consider. If your master was powerful enough, why didn't he make a move? Fang Ping was still wandering around. Heavenly kings were too efficient. Soon, the news spread in Spirit Emperor Dojo. These people said it for Fong Ping to hear. People everywhere were talking about it. Fong Ping and Zhang Tao were bound to fight. When Fong Ping became a heavenly king, Zhang Tao would most likely perish. The news spread quickly. At this moment, Fong Ping, who was wandering in a valley, heard this too. After hearing it, the corner of his mouth curled, a little disdainful. What's there to fight about? Idiot talk. Even if there was a conflict, did it have anything to do with him? He did not plan to walk this path until he died. Wasn't he walking the path of Tsang Mao now? Old Zhang's path was very long. He might not be able to walk it until then. Maybe he would cover the path before then. There was no conflict with old Zhang. A bunch of idiots. Fong Ping despised them for a while. A bunch of old antiques. Did they know what innovation was? Who told you that I must walk this path? As for old Zhang, he might have some ideas. Fong Ping was too lazy to say anything. Let old Zhang worry for nothing. He suspected that old Zhang might really be ready to merge with him. I won't tell you. You're supposed to be righteous and prepare to merge, but I didn't catch up in the end. I'm so angry. Fong Ping chuckled. Actually, the rumors were not fake. There were still some signs. In his origin world, old Zhang was indeed becoming stronger and stronger. Now, he was almost the head of his origin world. Of course, he was also a servant. He would do whatever he was told to do. Fong Ping was not sure if he had a reflection on old Zhang's side, but he felt that there might be. That was because old Zhang seemed to have beaten him up last time. He had not seen old Zhang for a long time. On the first day they met, it was not old Zhang who beat him up. How could he beat him up like a grandson? What old Zhang wanted to say was also what Fong Ping wanted to say. He often entered the origin world and beat old Zhang up like a grandson. Therefore, it should be possible that old Zhang had his own reflection on his side. Fong Ping was too lazy to care. Origin reflection was not needed. Sooner or later, he would be one, including his own origin reflection. He would also have to be one. Fong Ping had also thought about this in the past few days. In the end, his Tao should be the kind that was mixed into one. The only one in the three realms. Only me. He and old man Li had not discussed this before, but they came to the same conclusion. There were thousands of Taos. In the end, this should be the real martial Tao. Martial Tao did not need so many complicated things. Although Fong Ping was young, he had definitely seen a lot. He had also come into contact with old antiques like Old Cat, including powerhouses like Heavenly King Garrison and Sea Guardian. In addition to the opening up of neo-martial arts, some of the things he felt were no less than those old antiques. Fong Ping took the news that was circulating in the outside world as self-consolation. Go and spread it yourself. When he met old Zhang later, he might be able to take advantage of the situation. At the same time, Zhang Tao, who had just met Warlord, looked solemn. Seeing this, Warlord could not help but ask, "Are the rumors outside true?" Maybe. Zhang Tao did not hide it, saying in a low voice, "I should have taken over a lot of Fong Ping's things." Otherwise, according to common sense, when humans become stronger, Fong Ping should be the one who gets most of the feedback, not me. Now, because I'm strong, Fong Ping actually only gets a small part. His becoming stronger has little to do with the feedback. The strength of humans has a limited impact on him. All of this should have been Fong Ping's. Warlord frowned. You can't say that. To be fair, humans becoming stronger has something to do with Fong Ping, but it's not that important. You, on the other hand, still have some merits. According to the rumors outside, when these two people's strengths were comparable, there might be a big collision. This made Warlord very worried. What should he do? Was the human race so plagued with disasters? It was not easy for two prodigies to appear. Did one of them have to die? If that was the case, what was the point of fighting for so many years? Was there only one human king? Zhang Tao sighed. There's no other way. Let's wait and see. Now that Fang Ping has become stronger, it's actually affecting me quite a bit. My origin often suffers from the backlash. Puffed. As he said this, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and some origin chi surged out. Zhang Tao smiled bitterly. Just as you say, it's troublesome to encounter this during the war. Having said that, he panted. Carry me for a while. I'll suppress my origin. Warlord was worried. Was it that serious? Even his origin was beginning to suffer the backlash. Fang Ping had not become a heavenly king yet. If he became a heavenly king, wouldn't one of them die? Without thinking too much, Warlord bent over. Zhang Tao leaped up and rode on his back. He smiled. This fatty's back was wide and solid. It felt good to carry him. He just did not know if he would fight him to the death if he knew the truth. There was no other way. Who asked this fatty to be so stupid? Old Zhang was filled with a sense of superiority due to his superior IQ. It was quite troublesome to travel by himself. Recently, he did not have time to cultivate properly. It was not a bad idea for Warlord to run errands for him. Warlord did not think too much at the moment. While carrying him, he asked, "Is there a way to solve this?" "There is." Fang Ping, who has merged with the Tao. Old Zhang sighed. "Fulfill his wish. His talent is better than mine. His future is brighter than mine. Before he becomes a heavenly king, I'm afraid it'll be my last years. Old man, cherish this time. Oh, right, there's a big lake in the north. The fish in the lake is especially fresh and tender. I want to eat some before I die." Warlord was conflicted. Why eat fish at this time? I've seen that fish too. It's especially hard to catch. I'll have to trouble you. Zhang Tao sighed. I can't be on my way if I can't even eat it, can I? Why don't we talk to Fang Ping? There might be another way. Oh, right, old Devilly might know. No need. Zhang Tao refused decisively. What was there to ask? Why was it so troublesome to ask him to do some work? Warlord was slightly suspicious. Was he giving up just like that? Zhang Tao did not even put up a struggle. This was not in line with Zhang Tao's personality. Neo-martial artists did not have this habit. When they encountered trouble, they would give up without a second thought, right? At the very least, he should put up a struggle. Then, when there was no other way, he would give up, right? Zhang Tao could not be bothered with him. He rode on his back and looked around. A fat old man carrying a rather handsome old man was particularly eye-catching. It was a pity that no one saw it. Fang Ping did not see it either. Otherwise, he would have exposed this guy. Fang Ping, who did not care about anything in the outside world, moved freely. After searching for more than a day, he finally found traces of Dragonmorph. In the ruins of a great battle, Fang Ping sensed Dragonmorph's aura. The battle seemed to have just ended. Fang Ping followed the remnant aura and chased quickly. Very soon, he found traces of Dragonmorph in the distance. At this moment, Dragonmorph's celestial emperor was in human form. He was so old that one look at him and one would think that he did not have long to live. This ancient venerable emperor's lifespan was really reaching its limit. Even if he had obtained some benefits and extended his lifespan a little, he could not hide his state of decay at this moment. It was Fang Ping's first time seeing a powerhouse nearing the end of his lifespan. Height old, decay, origin chi overflowing, vitality overflowing. The surrounding vegetation, a few miles away from Dragonmorph, had withered directly. This was the state of a powerhouse who had reached the end of his life. It looked a little sad. Loneliness, deathly stillness, loneliness. At this moment, Dragonmorph still had some injuries on his body, but no one dared to provoke him anymore. The people who fought with him earlier were also attacked by him. Otherwise, they would not have fought with this powerhouse who was about to decay. In front, Dragonmorph walked step by step like a mortal. He did not use flight step, nor did he tear space. He was walking toward a tall mountain. He was climbing a mountain. In front, there was another incomparably tall mountain. That should be his destination. Fong Ping appeared a few miles behind him. Dragonmorph seemed to have sensed something and turned his head to take a look. It was completely different from the first time he saw him. At that time, Dragonmorph still had the appearance of a middle-aged man, domineering and dignified. Today, Dragonmorph's body was slightly hunched. His tall body was no longer mighty. Seeing Fong Ping, Dragonmorph smiled. Some wrinkles actually appeared on his face. Wrinkles. Fong Ping did not think he had seen wrinkles on a powerhouse's face before. "You're here," Dragonmorph laughed and said softly, "Is Ruobing all right?" "Senior, she's fine. She won't die yet." Dragonmorph continued to climb the mountain. He did not wait for Fong Ping. As he walked, he said, "Even if I die, I don't want to die like this. After so many years, how many enemies do I have? Killing one counts. I just want to walk a little higher and see a little further. Maybe I can look back on my life as Dragonmorph and at least leave some traces in this world." In the face of death, Dragonmorph seemed to have long been calm. When he talked about these, there was no regret. He was just a little emotional. 30,000 years. He could be considered the oldest among the venerable emperors. As for the others, they had either become heavenly kings or were already dead. No, there seemed to be a cat. Fong Ping followed quietly. At this moment, he also had some things he wanted to ask Dragonmorph's celestial emperor. The two of them began to climb the mountain one after another. Dragonmorph walked step by step, looking up at the sky from time to time, as if he saw something, the glory of the past. The Lord of the Four Brahmas, an ancient venerable emperor. He also had a glorious time. Unfortunately, it had long been buried in the dust of history. Not many people remembered it. Chapter 1198. Along the way, the grass and trees withered. Dragon Transformation's celestial emperor's eyes still showed some sadness. Everything has a spirit. Demons are also spirits. In the three realms, there are humans, immortals, demons. This is the three realms. Since the human race pursues equality, why not give demons a chance? Fong Ping said softly, "Cunning, ordinary strength, all demons. Sigh, the divine weapon forging method can be abolished." Dragon Transformation's face showed some sadness. In the past, the human race was weak. In order to increase their strength, they killed demons to forge divine weapons. I don't want to say much. Demons are the enemy, killing is killing, but Fong Ping, human king, if I kill them and take their bones to forge weapons, what do you think? Even if they are evil, Dragon Transformation added. Fong Ping frowned slightly. Dragon Transformation said self-deprecatingly, "I'm old. I like to let my imagination run wild. When I was young, I also killed countless enemies and never had the slightest sympathy. But now, in the end, my lifespan is coming to an end. Thinking of the billions of living beings in the demon race without a beast emperor, no one to support us, few powerhouses becoming food ingredients, materials, mounts, I still feel a little upset." Fong Ping said in a low voice, "Now most of the demons are enemies. There's no harm in killing. Enemies are meant to be killed." Dragon Transformation sighed. "But I hope Human King will consider it. Forging divine weapons does not necessarily have to kill demons to forge divine weapons. In ancient times, divine weapons could be forged without killing demons." Dragon Transformation shook his head. The demons, Myriad Demon King, Sky Demon King, these demons are still young and have not thought so much. Don't they think about how it would feel if one day they died of old age and were dug out from their graves, and their bones were forged into divine weapons. They actually colluded with the catacombs, providing demons to forge divine weapons for the catacombs. How stupid! Fang Ping thought for a moment and said, "Now, the human race still needs divine weapons. Most of the demons are also enemies with us. But I will consider abolishing the demons' demon cores to forge divine weapons. In fact, we don't kill many demons now. Many divine weapons are seized from the catacombs. Of course, Senior is a demon just like I am a human. It's definitely uncomfortable. I can only say, do your best. If the demon race no longer has any demon race enemies with us, we naturally won't take the initiative to hunt the demon race and forge divine weapons. But if the enemy demons are killed, we should make the best use of them. The human race doesn't have many resources to begin with, so I can't promise Senior so easily." Long Bien smiled and said, "That's enough. I hope that day will come." If he asked the humans to abolish the method of forging divine weapons using demon cores, that would weaken the humans' strength. Fang Ping would never do that. Long Bien knew this very well, but Long Bien thought about it and still reminded the beast sovereign perished and disappeared for 10,000 years. That's why the demon race is so weak. However, you must also consider the reaction of the Beast King once he returns and sees these divine weapons. This matter must be carefully considered. Otherwise, you will definitely offend the Beast King. Beast Emperor. Senior, what is your relationship with the Beast Emperor? Me. Long Bien continued to walk towards the peak of the mountain, mocking himself as he walked. What's the relationship? What relationship could there be? You humans have legends, the legend of Nuwa creating humans. As an emperor, it's not surprising for her to create some new species. Back then, when the Beast King became an emperor, he walked the path of the demonic beasts. He also wanted to become the emperor of the entire demonic race. But he was a demonic beast, not a monster plant. Could monsters and monster plants really be differentiated? Therefore, the Beast Emperor collected the blood essence of a monster plant and fused it with his own blood essence. He severed part of his origin and wanted to create a new life. Unfortunately, he failed. He was an emperor. How strong was his origin? The monster plant's origin was destroyed, but it also mutated and gave birth to a new life. A dragon, a very strange dragon. Long Bien chuckled and said, "A dragon that embarrassed the Beast Emperor, a bastard that can't be considered its descendant." Not only that, this dragon's aptitude was very poor. It looked a little strange. It didn't look like the Beast Emperor at all. The Beast Emperor was unwilling to acknowledge it. So that bastard dragon became the plaything of other demon powerhouses. One day, this dragon was not satisfied. It was unwilling. So it ran away. But that is an emperor. How could an emperor allow the life it created, a bastard descendant that embarrassed its emperor, to wander outside? Fang Ping listened quietly. He understood. This was Long Bien. He was really a descendant of the Beast Emperor. However, he seemed to be a little special. In the end, he was not acknowledged by the Beast Emperor. That day, the Beast Emperor personally walked out of the Beast Emperor Palace to capture him. That day, someone appeared and stopped the Beast Emperor, asking for a favor. This dragon was a little special. It was a mutant. If it could be given to him, the Beast Emperor agreed. Long Bien became more self-deprecating. So, from then on, that dragon had nothing to do with the Beast Emperor. Fang Ping pondered. Which emperor saved that dragon? He remembered seeing it in Skywood. Long Bien was not with the Beast Emperor. Instead, he was under the tutelage of an old man. So, this was how the dragon transformation, Celestial Emperor, came about. Because Wang Longbien has always been cultivating under the Divine Emperor, Not many people know about him. The disciples under the divine emperor later died or dispersed, and there are even fewer people who know about Long Bien's identity. In addition, he can transform and doesn't have any demon clan chi. Even the people under the divine emperor's tutelage don't think of the little dragon in the past. From then on, Wang Longbien was the realm master of a world. He started over and forgot the past. The master of the four Brahmas, the ancient venerable emperor. He had also repelled the enemy, and he had also wandered the three realms. He had even met the beast emperor, like a stranger. He had even met his brothers and sisters from the past, but none of them recognized him. They only knew that he was Wang Longbien, the realm master of the beyond heaven, with the strength of a venerable emperor, and could also be considered an overlord, until one day, everything changed. Fang Ping felt that he was about to hear the main point, and at this moment, he pricked up his ears. Previously, Moon Spirit had said that Long Bien had some secrets. Now, it seemed that Long Bien was going to tell him. Long Bien also had children. In fact, they couldn't be considered children because he was very special. He was like a human and a demon, unable to produce descendants. So he used the same method as the Beast Emperor. He fused his blood essence and produced a few descendants, but he was better than the Beast Emperor. At least he didn't mistreat his descendants. Long Bien seemed to be narrating someone else's story as he slowly said, until one day someone entered Brahma due heaven and sent him a baby girl. Everything changed. Long Bien's face showed complicated emotions, sadness, helplessness, and doting. The little girl was very, very young, very cute. Long Bien told others that she was his youngest daughter, his last descendant. But in fact, she was sent by someone else, and he couldn't refuse, because the person who sent the girl was under the divine emperor. The divine emperor did him a favor. At that time, the heaven realm seemed to be in chaos. The 9 emperors haven't shown up for a long time. Not only the 9 emperors, but the 4 emperors also don't show up, other than Celestial Emperor Batian, who is still looking for people to spar with. 12 of the 13 powerhouses of the 9 emperors and 4 emperors have gone into seclusion. Fang Ping couldn't hold it in and interrupted. Is Celestial Emperor Batian a spar maniac? It seems that from all the records, he is either on the way or in the midst of a challenge. Is he Bro Flat Top? Long Bien laughed and said, Human Emperor, can you let me finish? It's hard for me to accumulate emotions when you're like this. But when it came to Celestial Emperor Batian, he still said a few more words and smiled. Celestial Emperor Batian is also considered an anomaly. The 4 emperors are not too high profile, and Celestial Emperor Batian is the same. But Celestial Emperor Batian is very persistent in his pursuit of martial arts and often looks for people to spar with. This is also a fact. His interest was piqued. He has also challenged true gods before and defeated his opponent, but his opponent might not even know his identity. Among the 4 emperors, Celestial Emperor Batian should be considered the most popular. Although Heavenly Emperor Zhan and the 3 sovereigns had a master-disciple relationship, Celestial Emperor Batian had the most connections. His opponents did not hate him. It's hard to say for Heavenly Emperor Batian. Maybe he was annoyed by him. Of course, it was also because of this that he suffered a great loss. He is too easy to talk to, so some people are not afraid of him. Back then, Heavenly Hound blocked the path because of this. That fellow, Heavenly Hound, knew that Celestial Emperor Batian would not kill it, and was also a fellow who wanted to become a battle emperor. It was easy for others to kill it, so it did not dare to challenge them. Didn't it find an opportunity to challenge Celestial Emperor Batian? In the end, it was also a coincidence that something big happened. Long Bien didn't know whether to laugh or cry when he mentioned this ancient secret. That time, Heavenly Hound was also in a bad situation. Celestial Emperor Batian beat its brains out. Celestial Emperor Batian was in a hurry to leave and did not care about it. But later, I heard that Heavenly Emperor Jean had fallen. Celestial Emperor Batian once sent a voice transmission to the three realms, saying that he must kill Heavenly Hound if he saw it. It was also because of this that Heavenly Hound escaped from the Heavenly Realm in advance. Otherwise, with Heavenly Hound's personality, how could it not have participated in the war that year? It did not die because of this, so it did not dare to return to the Heavenly Realm. It also knew how much trouble it had caused. Heavenly Emperor Batian died in battle, and because of it, Celestial Emperor Batian missed the opportunity. If it dared to appear at that time, Celestial Emperor Batian could really kill it. Fong Ping burst out laughing. So this was how Heavenly Hound escaped the war that year. Previously, Fong Ping had been wondering why Heavenly Hound, with its warlike personality, did not participate in the war according to Tsang Mao. So that was why, at this moment, Long Bien did not say anything more about Celestial Emperor Batian. He continued, "At that time, the Heavenly Realm was already in chaos. There seemed to be some problems with the baby girl that the Emperor God sent over. Her life force was constantly flowing away. I tried many ways, but I could not stop her life force from flowing away. I also sought help from many powerhouses, but there was no way to completely cure her." Fong Ping interrupted, "Did you not look for the Emperor God?" At that time, he was already nowhere to be found. Long Bien sighed. It was said that at that time, the Emperor God had already gone beyond ninth heaven, including a few other emperors. Other than a few who were still around, the rest had all left. I went to look for Dong Huang. Dong Huang said that this was because there was a problem with the baby girl's portal. I asked Dong Huang if he had a solution. Dong Huang said that he did not have a solution either. He wanted to say something, but hesitated. In the end, he did not mention it again. I also went to look for Spirit Emperor. Spirit Emperor did not see me. He told me to think of a way to look for the Emperor God myself. This was the Emperor God's problem. I had no other way. I could only seal the baby girl continuously to reduce the loss of her life force. This seal lasted for 10,000 years. Long Bien said with great vicissitudes, 10,000 years passed, but the Emperor God never appeared again. The baby girl that was given to me in the past has also grown up. In the past, I was resentful, angry, and even wanted to give up, but I put in too much effort for the baby girl. When the baby girl learned to speak and grew up, she called me father. Long Bien smiled bitterly. Because of some problems, those few descendants of my blood essence did not have long lifespans. I also did not harm others to create more descendants. At that time, Ruobing accompanied me through a difficult but happy time. Wang Long Bien. The experience in the past made him cherish such a time. When she called him father, he decided to protect this baby girl. She was left behind by a benefactor. Since she was sent to Brahmadu heaven, no matter what, before the Emperor God appears, I cannot let the baby girl die. Fong Ping felt rather emotional. So that was it. Wang Ruobing, in order to protect her life, dragon transformations, celestial Larch traveled all over the three realms, begging people everywhere. He did not sleep all this while protecting her, to return the favor to the Emperor God. After a long time, he also developed feelings for her. This was Wang Long Bien. Then what exactly is the problem with Wang Ruobing? Fong Ping asked doubtfully. Her life force kept losing because of a lack of life force. But the energy of Heavenly Emperor Jean's heart healed her. This, I I had my suspicions and tried to find out more. Dragon Transformation looked at Fong Ping and was silent for a while before saying, Ruobing might be a test subject, like me. A test subject created by the Emperor God might not necessarily be a human. According to the situation at that time, Ruobing might have some relationship with the immortal source and the door of Tao. As for Heavenly Emperor Zhan's heart, it stopped her life force from losing. Perhaps it was because Heavenly Emperor Zhan's heart energy contained some extreme path energy, extreme path of vitality. What healed Ruobing was not life force, but extreme path energy. After saying that, he was silent for a moment before saying again, and this time he paused for a longer time. Fong Ping asked a little anxiously, "What else?" These things that Dragon Transformation said did not seem to be of much help to him. Right now, he also did not understand the meaning of Dragon Transformation telling him these things. "Promise me to help Ruobing, then I will tell you some things." "What do you mean?" Fong Ping frowned slightly. "Is there still someone watching Wang Ruobing now?" "I don't know." Dragon Transformation's celestial arch was silent for a while before saying, "Since she was handed over to me by the Emperor God, she might be very important. I'm worried that there will be some problems in the future. If I have the ability, of course, I will not sit back and do nothing. Thank you." Heavenly Emperor Dragon Transformation smiled bitterly. "Now, I can only seek help from you humans. The few times I made a move previously was also because of this matter. I wanted Ruobing to have a good ending, but previously you humans were not strong enough, so I did not say much. Now that you humans are strong, then I will say a few more words. Ruobing does not have the Sanjiao Gate." Fong Ping's gaze flickered slightly. "Her Sanjiao Gate is actually fake. I used a holy armament to create it and found a god creation envoy to create the appearance of a Sanjiao Gate, allowing her to disguise herself as having a Sanjiao Gate. Her life force is constantly losing. It might be related to this. Of course, I also have some speculations. According to the time that year, Ruobing appeared not long after the immortal source was successfully created. I suspect that Ruobing has a great relationship with the immortal source. She might even be a backup left behind by the Emperor God. I have thought about it a lot. The Emperor God's return. How would he return? Revive himself? Or directly revive through Ruobing?" Dragon Transformation's gaze changed. Ruobing's life origin is very special. It is a little messy, as if it is not a person's life origin. Under such circumstances, there is the possibility of her being possessed. Possession generally cannot happen unless there are some special factors, such as reincarnation, such as— Wait! Fong Ping's pupils constricted. "What did you say? Reincarnation? You thought of Wang Jinyang and the rest." Heavenly Emperor Dragon Transformation was not surprised. He sighed. "It is possible. Wang Jinyang and the rest might be the backup left behind by the four emperors. The four emperors might not really be completely dead. They are also waiting for an opportunity. At a critical juncture, maybe they can directly enter their origins and replace them to become the four emperors." Fong Ping's pupils constricted. He said coldly, "How dare they? Even the four emperors can't." Maybe in the eyes of the four emperors, this is not a possession, just a return. You feel that it is inappropriate. They might feel that you are just meddling because this is a backup left behind by themselves. "That won't do." Fong Ping humphed coldly. "I don't hate the four emperors, but it better not happen. Otherwise, regardless of whether they are the four emperors or not, regardless of what happened in the past, if they dare to possess my friend, I will definitely make them suffer the consequences." Fong Ping had heard that reincarnated bodies could recover their memories. However, possession, these two were still different. Fong Ping could not accept it. Old Man Li and the rest had said that possession did not exist. A person could not enter another person's body and possess the other person's body. If needed with strong mentality, they could condense a body by themselves. However, once it was the same origin, it was actually considered as the same person. In short, it was a very complicated thing. Fong Ping did not want to care about that. In any case, it would not work. Heavenly Emperor Dragon Transformation saw the situation and did not say much. He continued, Ruobing might be the Divine Emperor's backup. The Divine Emperor is my benefactor, but Ruobing has accompanied me for 10,000 years. I also don't want this to happen. Even if she is not a tool prepared by the Divine Emperor to revive, she may also be involved in the matter of the immortal origin. In the future, if she is in trouble, if you have the ability, I hope you can lend a hand. No problem. Fong Ping agreed, readily, saying casually, So, what if she is a sovereign? What's so great about a sovereign? Scheming this and that. When I find a chance, I'll take care of them one by one. Leave Wang Ruobing to me. If a sovereign is really born, there's nothing I can do if I can't beat her. Those who can beat me, but those who provoke me, I'll kill them all. Fong Ping said it domineeringly. Dragon Transformation listened for a while and laughed, saying, I'll have to trouble you then. However, it's not all without benefits. Ruobing is a little special because she doesn't have the Sanjiao Gate. When you go back, you can look for Ruobing and investigate her origin. You might gain something. Ruobing is also related to me being able to advance to saint. This doesn't matter. Fong Ping said casually, Saints and heavenly kings are not barriers to me. There's no need to waste that time. You've been watching for so many years, but you're only a saint. Obviously, the effect is average. It doesn't matter. At this moment, Dragon Transformation did not know whether to cry or laugh. He was laughing because Fong Ping did not care. This was actually a good thing. Otherwise, he would also have to worry if Fong Ping would do something. What made him cry, though, was that this fellow's words at this time were really piercing. Saints and heavenly kings were nothing. He did not care too much. Fong Ping's confidence had reached a domineering level. What shortcuts? He did not need them. He was the biggest shortcut. He even felt that looking at Wang Ruobing's origin might not be as fast as him walking on his own. This was something that Dragon Transformation wanted to refute, but he could not. If it were anyone else, they would have been tempted by this time. But Fong Ping, Dragon Transformation, was helpless. This old man could not say anything. He had nothing to say. Old man, don't entrust yourself to me. Just give me the saint token. I'll help when I need help. Fong Ping said carelessly, 1 saint token, and I'll help you settle the score with the sovereigns. I've been unhappy with them for a long time. Saint tokens are cheap deals. They're only worth the price of a saint token. Dragon Transformation was exhausted. I hesitated for a long time, wondering if I should tell you, wondering if I should say it out. In the end, you didn't care at all. This made me very hurt. In the end, 1 saint token could solve everything? If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have racked my brains. After thinking for so long, I finally made a decision today. Isn't this hurting me? The sovereigns were only worth the price of a saint token. These words would hurt the sovereigns. I do have 1 saint token. Dragon Transformation took out a small seal and passed it to Fong Ping. He said, This old man won't let you help for nothing. You humans have a lot of enemies. Before I die, I'll at least help you kill a saint. It's okay. It's just a saint. It's not difficult to kill them. You don't have to risk your life to kill one. Dragon Transformation's expression stiffened. He struggled and said, Saints are still very powerful, especially killing a saint. It's extremely difficult. Killing a few is just that. Dragon transformation could not hold it in anymore. He growled in a low voice. This old man is only a saint, not a heavenly king. I can't kill a heavenly king either. Besides, you said that killing a saint is easy. Have you considered my opinion? Mother asterisk cur. He could not hold it in anymore. Why did he feel like beating someone up so much? Chapter 11, 99. Dragon transformation erupted. Fong Ping did not care either. This was how outstanding people were. They would be envied wherever they went. The light could not be concealed. Seeing the old man's outburst, Fong Ping laughed. Senior, you can just listen to these things. I'll help what I need to help. As for the rest, you can do as you see fit. I'm about to die. How can you die so easily? Fong Ping was speechless. There are many ways to survive. Advancing to Heavenly King, won't that prolong your lifespan? Dragon transformation's face darkened. Today's atmosphere was completely ruined. You said it like it was a game. Was it that easy? Other treasures that can prolong life. No. Fong Ping laughed. I know you don't. Come, I'll give you a fat baby to lick. Let's see if it can live a few more days. As he said that, Fong Ping carried a fat baby out. The little baby struggled and squeaked. He was a little unwilling. Dragon transformation's expression changed slightly. After looking for a long time, he said hesitantly, Fountain of longevity? Yes, they've all become spirits. Dragon transformation was surprised. They had all become spirits. Fong Ping nodded, smiling as he pushed the baby forward, his butt facing dragon transformation. Come, you lick a few times, and see if it works. Dragon transformation's expression stiffened again. What do you mean? If you say, give me food and drink, I won't say anything. Lick a few times, and face me with your butt. Although this was a spirit and spring water, don't you feel awkward? Senior doesn't like it? Fong Ping hesitated for a moment, saying, Fat baby, try spitting some saliva for Senior. Uffed. The fat baby spat out a mouthful of saliva. It understood this. Saliva poured down. Dragon transformation's celestial emperor's face was wet. At this moment, dragon transformation's expression was extremely stiff. He really wanted to beat someone to death. Is it useful? Dragon transformation looked at him, a little sullen, saying in a low voice, Can't there be some normal methods? Dragon transformation's celestial emperor was mentally exhausted. He was silent, licking the saliva on his face. After a while, he raised his eyebrows slightly. Rich vitality, there's some effect, but it's too little. Little? Very quickly, Fong Ping brought out the 3 plump babies again. He said quickly, Spit at him together. Spit more. And I'll feed all of you delicious food later. Pooh, pooh. At this moment, the 4 fat babies were frantically spitting saliva at Long Huan. The 4 babies surrounded him from all sides and spat wildly. Anyone who saw this scene would probably break down. Dragon transformation into Heavenly Emperor also did not feel good. What was this? What the hell was this? Spit on me. Yet he still gave them benefits. But why did he feel so aggrieved? The 4 dolls spared no effort, and their saliva was splashed all over their bodies every time. Heavenly Emperor Dragon transformation's aged, fleshy body was absorbing those saliva. Gradually, the somewhat wrinkled skin recovered some luster. Heavenly Emperor Dragon transformation simply closed his eyes and growled in a low voice, Come. A masochistic look. Fong Ping coughed dryly and laughed. Senior, don't. That little guy, don't poop. Enough. Heavenly Emperor Dragon transformation opened his eyes, thinking that Fong Ping was scaring him. In the end, he saw that a fat baby was really using his butt to face his mouth. Dragon Transformation's face turned green. He gritted his teeth and said, "It's about time. I feel that I can live for at least 3 more months. That's enough, that's it." As he said that, he stretched out his hand and grabbed, flicking the little fat baby with his butt, rising away. It was really enough. Living for 3 more months was enough. If not, they would talk about it again. He could not stand this kind of method. It really made people break down. Fong Ping was a little surprised. Very quickly, he raised his eyebrows and said, "Senior is thinking it's enough to sustain a great battle. It won't let this old man die halfway." Dragon Transformation had regained his composure at this moment. It was easy to say. Fong Ping was a little surprised by his choice. Enough vitality to sustain a great battle. Was he going to use one battle to advance to Heavenly King? Previously, he was old and dying. Even if he advanced in battle, he might not succeed. Most likely, he would still die. But now, after replenishing some vitality, the old man actually had the idea of advancing. "It's been a few years since I advanced to Saint. I've walked about 90,000 meters on the Tao. Above 80,000 meters, he could be considered a saint. 90,000 meters was not considered weak, even among saints. All these years, I haven't slept. There are advantages and disadvantages. You've seen the disadvantages. The advantage is that this old man has always been awake, and his combat power is at its peak. If I sleep, my control of power will more or less decline. I'll need some time to adapt. The current me is underestimating, but I'm also at the peak." Dragon Transformation stood up and said self-deprecatingly, "Initially, this old man thought that living to this point should be enough. One last battle, kill a few enemies, and leave some capital for my daughter. But today, after saying those words, Fong Ping, actually looked down on a saint. If I die after killing a saint, won't I die in vain?" He was provoked by Fong Ping. He thought that if he killed a saint, the humans should be grateful, right? So Fong Ping did not care. Then what was the use of exhausting himself to kill a saint? He did not give the right favor. He was really provoked. No, if he wanted to die, he had to kill a heavenly king before he died. This way, the humans would remember the favor, right? Of course, now was not the time. Dragon Transformation stood up and said, "Now there are many saints here. Those who have a grudge against you humans are Ping Yu, the 3 ancient saints, the 2 kings of the catacombs. These must be your enemies. The 3 ancient saints are 1. The 2 kings of the catacombs are 1. It's very difficult for me to kill them. How about leaving Ping Yu to this old man? You want to kill a saint to prove your Tao? Maybe I'll be killed by him to prove my Tao." Dragon Transformation laughed and said, "Everything is possible. He's also an ancient venerable emperor just a few years later than me. That old thing you Long Tian is not much weaker than me, but after sleeping for a few years, he can still live. You Long Tian doesn't seem to have a dispute with you guys?" Fong Ping nodded. "Those who have a dispute are these for now. Heavenly Emperor Ping Yu was also the master of the 4 Brahmas, so he was not a weakling. It was hard to say whether Dragon Transformation could kill him. Everyone was about the same. In a battle of life and death, who would emerge victorious depended on luck. At this time, Dragon Transformation regained his fighting spirit. He laughed and said, "After all, I studied under a sovereign. And under the first sovereign, the Divine Emperor, Ping Yu's master was only a saint back then. How can he compare to me? No matter whether I succeed or not, killing him is in line with the interests of your human race." As soon as he finished speaking, Dragon Transformation soared into the sky and laughed. "This old man is leaving. Ping, you also has a saint token. I'll get it and give it to you." Fong Ping did not persuade him, nor did he get involved. These ancient saints wanted to prove their Tao, but at this moment they were lacking something. Essence, spirit, and soul. Yes, or rather, fighting spirit. Without a battle of life and death, it was difficult for these people to arouse their fighting spirit. It had been too long. It had been too long since they had a battle of life and death. These people had almost forgotten this feeling. At this moment, although they had lofty aspirations, they could not arouse that essence, spirit, and soul. Essence, spirit, and soul were not in harmony. This was a huge obstacle to martial arts cultivation. Killing a saint was not the goal. The key was to enter that state in a battle of life and death, to find that original feeling. That was why many people treated fighting as a means to advance. After the old man dragon transformation left, the few little kids were still a little dissatisfied. They had not finished vomiting. Fang Ping ignored them and kept them back into the source world directly, touching the saint token in his hand. Fang Ping was a little excited. 7 tokens. 36 saint tokens. He had collected 7. His wealth had also increased. A saint's order could bring him almost 15 billion wealth points. After refining this saint token, I might not become stronger, but my source world will be wider. Fang Ping was delighted. 6 saint tokens allowed him to expand to more than 100 meters in diameter. Maybe 12 tokens could make it to 200 meters. If 36 tokens, he wondered if it could reach 600 meters. Although it would get harder in the later stages, the more saint tokens he had, the more useful it would be. These two might be equal. Very soon, Fang Ping refined the saint token, and his source world expanded a little again. In the next moment, Fang Ping restrained his aura and flew away. He went to look for someone else. More than an hour later, Fang Ping had just appeared when he saw someone and said, "Heaven!" Bang! The void exploded. Heaven's fate ran away, without saying a word. Yes, he ran away. A heavenly king powerhouse ran away the moment he saw Fang Ping. While fleeing frantically, Heaven's fate transmitted his voice. "Don't chase me. Did you hear me? I'm a lunatic. Don't force me. A lunatic can do anything. Don't force me. I'm a lunatic. Go away." Heaven's fate ran very fast. Fang Ping was dumbstruck. What was wrong? I didn't do anything to you. Was this lunatic really crazy? Did he misunderstand something? Prince Heaven's fate. I'm Fang Ping, the Fang Ping of the humans. Go away? Heaven's fate roared, asking you to go away. What did you think? If you weren't Fang Ping, I wouldn't have run. Just because you're Fang Ping, I ran. None of the humans are good. You, Fang Ping, even more so. Don't think that you only have saint-level combat strength. Look at who doesn't look gloomy at the mention of you. Stay away from me. Prince, I mean no harm. Good intentions won't do. Heaven's fate was terrified. Bad intentions were still acceptable, but good intentions were even more terrifying. What were you trying to do? Fang Ping was stunned. You were a heavenly king, and I had the combat strength of a saint. Why did you run? Why was your tone so horrifying? Did you see a ghost? Fang Ping was stunned. What did I do to you? I don't think I've talked to you before. Today was the first time I said it. But he was not as fast as a heavenly king. Therefore, under his dumbstruck gaze, Heaven's fate ran away. It was not that there were no people in all directions. At this moment, there were still people who were stunned. In the next moment, someone said in horror, "Go, a human king can kill a heavenly king." Look, the Heaven's fate prince was so terrified. Could it be that Fang Ping could kill a heavenly king? Otherwise, would this heavenly king, the Heaven's fate prince, need to be like this? At this moment, within a radius of thousands of miles, all the powerhouses who were at odds with the humans fled. Terrifying, a human king came, and he even chased after the Heaven's fate prince. If they met, even a heavenly king would have to kneel. 1 to 10, 10 to 100. While Fang Ping was still depressed about why the heaven's fate would run when they met him. The huge Spirit Emperor Dojo was already spreading the news that a human king could kill a heavenly king. The heaven's fate prince was being chased. He fled pathetically, his whereabouts unknown. Fong Ping was still being chased. All the powerhouses must run faster when they met Fong Ping. Fong Ping still did not know that his notoriety had spread everywhere in an instant. At this moment, Fong Ping wanted to find a saint token. He would first find someone who was alone. Boundless Mountain's heavenly emperor Boundless, Immortal-seeking Island's priestess Wenxian, Weiyu Mountain's venerable emperor Qingtong. These people all had a saint token. Fong Ping, who was looking for a target everywhere, soon met another saint, venerable emperor Qingtong. Weiyu Mountain's venerable emperor, the leader of the southern sect. When this saint saw Fong Ping, he frowned. Why did he meet this guy? Fong Ping was more difficult to deal with than other heavenly kings. Heavenly king powerhouses were still somewhat particular, but Fong Ping was not particular about anything. Seeing Fong Ping, venerable emperor Qingtong also wanted to escape without saying a word. Fong Ping knew that this saint, who had fought against the divine sect before, was not considered an enemy of humans. At this moment, seeing that he was about to escape, he hurriedly said, "Venerable Emperor Qingtong, don't you want to know more about Weiyu Mountain?" Qingtong stopped, turned back to look at him, and sighed. Weiyu Mountain has no grudges with humans. The Sword King in your human star town is under my tutelage. Fong Ping smiled. Of course there's no grudge. When you were not around, we worked very happily together. Weiyu Mountain's Jiang Kuei and I have always worked together. Oh, right, Jiang Yao has achieved true God. You know, Senior? This time, Qingtong's interest was piqued. He asked, Jiang Yao has achieved Tao. That's right. Fong Ping smiled. The catacombs has established the heavenly court, and 9 saints are suppressing it. Weiyu Mountain is in a difficult situation now. Wanwu Mountain has North Emperor's bloodline, but you guys don't. Now the catacombs are forcing Weiyu Mountain to surrender. Our human powerhouses have even helped Weiyu Mountain to repel the enemies. Wanwu, North Emperor's bloodline. Venerable Emperor Qingtong thought for a while before saying, Weiyu Mountain is not without a background. My master is from the Emperor God's bloodline. Of course, my master only listened to the Emperor God's bloodline for a few years in the past. I've never crossed paths with the Emperor God's bloodline. However, even if the catacombs rebuild the heavenly court, they won't attack Weiyu Mountain rashly. I achieved Tao as a saint more than 2,000 years ago. I once defeated Qingma Saint, who was still alive. The catacombs know this. If I'm not dead, they won't dare to do anything rashly, right? He was dubious about Fong Ping's words. He was not dead yet. This southern sect leader had achieved Tao as a saint for thousands of years. He had defeated a saint in the past. Without a heavenly king, how would they dare to attack Weiyu Mountain rashly? Were they not afraid that he would come back to cause trouble? Fong Ping smiled. They have a few heavenly kings. Why would they care about this? Of course, I didn't kill them. I just wanted to tell you that I have no grudges with you. We've worked together before. I know you have a saint's token. Qingtong frowned slightly. The saint's token is a holy weapon. It's also my weapon. I only have this holy weapon. If the king of man wants a holy weapon, I'm afraid I won't be able to comply. This was his weapon. How could he give it away so easily? Taking someone's weapon was also a great enmity. Fong Ping was helpless. After thinking for a while, a saint-grade armor appeared. Senior, how about this? Venerable Emperor Qingtong frowned slightly. Sacred armor. It's a good thing. A defensive holy weapon is rarer than an offensive one. But I need a powerful attack. not a powerful defense. If there were extra holy weapons, he would definitely exchange them. But there were none. Without an offensive holy weapon, if he wanted a defensive one, wouldn't that weaken his own strength? The lethality of the saint's token is just that. Fang Ping smiled. Senior, you also know that there are many heavenly kings here. Senior, is the integration rate with the saint's token very high? If it's not high, is it strong to add a little increase in combat strength? If that's the case, I think it's more important to stay alive. I'm not the only one who wants the saint's token. Many people want it. After the heavenly kings seize the 9 emperor seals, do you think they will collect the heavenly king seals and saints' tokens? Senior, do you think you can keep it? Fang Ping said again. There are many people with saints' tokens now, but I only have this extra holy weapon. If you don't want it now, I'll find someone else to exchange for it. They might not refuse. When that time comes, Senior, your saint's token will be in your hands. When the fight for the 9 emperor seals comes to an end, the saint's token will definitely be a hot potato. Venerable Emperor Qing Tong smiled bitterly and sighed. They say that you, the king of man, have a way with words. Indeed, I didn't want to exchange it at first, but after hearing what you said, if I don't exchange it, not only will I lose the saint's token, but I'll also get myself killed. Come to think of it, it makes sense. Forget it. Venerable Emperor Qing Tong was very helpless. Although Fang Ping seemed to be forcing him, his words were not meant to scare him. If the fight for the 9 emperor seals came to an end, the saint's token would really become a hot potato. It was not a bad idea to exchange for a holy weapon armor now. Fang Ping was also smiling. His flesh was stronger, comparable to some heavenly kings. Holy weapon armor was of limited help to him. It was a good thing to be able to exchange for a sage token peacefully. After all, Qing Tong of Weiyu Mountain had no enmity with him. For the sake of the sage token, Qing Tong had forcefully snatched it away. Unless Qing Tong was killed, they would definitely be mortal enemies. How wonderful it was now! Very quickly, a saint's order floated over. Fang Ping tossed out the sacred spirit armor. This time, it was an equivalent exchange. His wealth did not change. Fang Ping did not mind either. The difference in value between the 2 sacred weapons was not huge. At this moment, Fang Ping was even more satisfied. 8 saint tokens! Venerable Emperor Qing Tong changed his armor and left immediately, unwilling to continue interacting with Fang Ping. Fang Ping was also very depressed. Why did everyone want to beat him up? I didn't do anything. Why is this fake heavenly grave so hostile towards me? Next, I don't have any more saint weapons. Fang Ping also had a headache. What about Heavenly Emperor Wuya? And these people, the 2 venerable sovereigns of the Boundless Mountain and the immortal-seeking island, also seemed to have the strength of saints. These 2 immortal islands were also the 2 strongest immortal islands among the 33 overseas immortal islands. One was the bloodline of the Eastern Emperor, and the other was the bloodline of the Spirit Emperor. They had no enmity with him. It was not easy to snatch. How troublesome! Fang Ping was helpless. Should he snatch the 3 great sect protectors first? However, these 3 fellows had always been together. Those who could fight saints were really not easy to snatch. The other saints who are alone, do you want to give it a try? Among the 36 saints, there were still a few who were here, just as Fang Ping was fretting. In a dilapidated building in the Spirit Emperor dojo, Shui Li's expression was dark. Looking at the innocent Li Wuqi, he said with a slight headache, "My little ancestor, I want to kill you now. Who allowed you to come into contact with the humans? Don't you know how troublesome it is?" Li Wuji's eyes widened as he complained, "Forefather, you left just like that, and you didn't leave anything behind. It was so dangerous at that time. I had no choice. Besides, it's not like there are no benefits for me to come into contact with the humans. What benefits? I've achieved Tao. That's true. Shui Li's incarnation of a brawny man nodded. This was considered a benefit, not bad. Li Wuqi glanced at the ancestor, thought for a while, and said, and there are many benefits. What? Ancestor, don't be too happy and faint from excitement. Bang! Shui Li punched him until his head swelled up. He said angrily, the ancestor, have been through all kinds of storms. During the era of the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors, there was not a day that I didn't see emperors. These are all small matters. It's nothing. Li Wuqi shook his head, his eyes blinking. After a while, he said, Ancestor, is the Sea Guardian powerful? Of course. He was one of the 3 Sea Guardians back then, second only to the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors. The Sea of Misery today can be considered as its territory. You and I are both considered as its subjects. Shui Li was more respectful towards the Sea Guardian. He was only an emperor-level bull back then, while that person was already a powerhouse among the heavenly kings. The difference was huge. Even in the South Palace, the Sea Guardian was a VIP, and he could only squat outside the door and watch them talk. Ancestor, I brought glory to you. Li Wuqi knew that he was in trouble. He changed his mind and said happily, I surrendered to the humans and made a huge offer. In the end, the King of Humans agreed. What? The King of Humans appointed me as the Sea Guardian of the humans. Bang! Li Wuqi was stomped into the ground. At this moment, Shui Li wanted to beat him to death. Ancestor, this is a good thing. My clan, Shui Li, is on equal footing with the Sea Guardian. I'm the Sea Guardian, and you're my ancestor. Your seniority is much higher than the current Sea Guardian. Bang! 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 Shui Li turned into a huge golden bull. He wanted to stomp this calf to death. Is he crazy? Appointing him as the Sea Guardian? This is killing me. Isn't Li Wuqi afraid that I'll die? Or do you want me to die and give up my position? The Sea Guardian is still alive. How dare you ask someone to appoint you as the Sea Guardian? Are you tired of living? The only thing that comforted him was that the Sea Guardian of the humans seemed to have a human as well. Otherwise, he would want to eat beef now. This is not a trap. This is a trap for his ancestors. I'll stomp you to death. Shui Li stomped on him again and again. He was filled with grief and indignation. I've only been gone for a few days, and such a big thing happened. Stupid calf. Was this something that was easy to get involved in? And the Sea Guardian, and the Sea Guardian's ancestor. You dare to say it. I'll trample you to death. Ancestor, there's no turning back. The entire 3 realms knows. Do you believe that I won't kill you now? Ancestor, you won't be able to trample me to death. I have the God creation avatar on me, and he's in a deep sleep now. If you step on him again, he'll be able to beat you to death. Shui Li was so angry that his lungs almost exploded. Are you threatening me? All right, a little cowardly. God creation envoy. It also knew about this, so it really didn't dare to step on it anymore. If it stepped on him, if it saw that it had stepped on him and was slaughtered for beef, how could it be justified? Calf, you're causing trouble for me. Shui Li cursed for a while, then said helplessly, that's the only way now. Sigh, I've been guarding 8,000 years. Could it be that I have to make an exception this time? Shui Li fell into deep thought, feeling somewhat helpless. Was Master coming back or not? Seeing that 8,000 years had passed, should he activate it? Chapter 1200. Water Power was considering whether to open the Nan Royal Palace, which he had taken away in the past. At the same time, a storm was brewing in Spirit Emperor Dojo. Fong Ping was collecting saint tokens. It was not that no one had guessed it. There were so many powerhouses here. What was Fong Ping trying to do? Soon, some clues leaked out. In the depths of the dimensional battlefield, the 9 Emperor seals flickered in and out of view. The imperial aura had been emitted for a long time, but the crowd was still unable to find the exact location of the 9 Emperor seals. They were all top-level powerhouses, heavenly king stage powerhouses. However, they were unable to find the seal of the 9 emperors. This caused the heavenly kings to be somewhat dissatisfied and puzzled. The 9 emperor seal must be here. But where was it? Previously, Zhang Tao had drawn out some of the aura of the 9 emperors' seal. The experts of the 8 kings had used the heavenly king seal to sense something, but they had not been able to pinpoint the exact location. At this moment, deep within the battlefield, the experts gathered again. King Qian was not interested in the chaos outside. At this moment, he said in a deep voice, "Everyone, we've been searching for the 9 emperor seals for a very long time, but we couldn't find it at all. Has it been taken away by someone, or is it still hidden here?" Everyone looked at each other. Very quickly, King Sun said slowly, "I'm afraid he's still here." However, the seal of the 9 emperors has always been perfectly preserved. It was forged by the 9 emperors and 4 emperors together, so it probably has some spirituality. Now, it is probably a treasure that has been corrupted by itself. In such a vast land, if the seal of the 9 emperors was restrained, it would be very difficult to find the corrupted seal of the 9 emperors. King Zhen continued, "Why don't we work together and use the heavenly king seal to see if we can activate the 9 emperors' seal?" Everyone looked at each other again. They were a little tempted. He couldn't keep searching like this. If he used the 8 emperor seal, he might be able to activate the 9 emperor seal. In the crowd, King Kuan said faintly, "We are not emperors after all. The 9 emperor seal is the core of the artifact. Even using the heavenly king seal might not be able to activate the 9 emperor seal. However, it's not that nobody can activate it." King Wu. The crowd was in an uproar. The Sea Guardian raised his eyebrows slightly and said, "That's true. The martial king absorbed a trace of Emperor Qi from Emperor Ling and activated the seal of the 9 emperors. If he makes a move, he might be able to find it." King Kuan said lightly, "There's still Fong Ping. What path did Fong Ping take? The way of the human sovereign. If that was the case, then he would have the orthodox imperial inheritance. Since that was the case, he could also activate it." The 9 emperors' seals were probably thrown in by the cat. Did the cat not tell Fong Ping where it was hidden? Therefore, if we want to find the 9 emperor seals, we still have to rely on the human race. After saying that, he added, "Fong Ping is collecting saints' tokens outside. I'm afraid he's also eyeing the 9 emperor seals. Everyone, the 9 emperor seal is different from ordinary divine weapons. It is not a rumor that the 9 emperor seal can break through the 9 heavens. This king saw it with his own eyes in the past. If the Palm Seal envoy is still alive, he must know about it." The crowd looked at Li Zhu, who had just arrived. Li Zhu was indifferent. Everyone was still looking at him. Li Zhu was a little helpless. Sometimes it really made people feel helpless. They said that he was the one who did it. It was the old cat and the subduing heavenly king, the 2 old devils. It was useless even if he denied it. He had denied it until now. Perhaps everyone had accepted it, but they still felt that he should know everything that the Palm Seal envoy knew. Being stared at by the crowd, Li Zhu calmly said, "I don't know much about the 9 emperor seals. However, it should be true that the 9 emperor seals can open a passage to the 9 heavens. In the 3 realms, it's difficult to distinguish the strength of divine weapons. Each has its own function. However, the meaning of the 9 emperor seals is different. It may not have strong attack power, but it has many other functions. At least, other than opening the passage to the 9 heavens, I think it might be able to fix the origin. The crowd did not say anything. Fixing the origin should be possible. Some of them had the heavenly king seals and knew the effect. After another moment of silence, King Qian said again, "Everyone, let's work together and use the heavenly king seals to locate the 9 emperor seals. If it doesn't work, we'll look for the humans. We've been trapped for a few months. We have to fight every day. We've been trapped here for a long time. The 3 realms have changed a lot. This is not a place to stay for long." Do Tian seized the opportunity and said, "If it were up to me, we should capture the martial king and the human king now. They must know about it. It just so happens that Fang Ping has collected many saints' tokens. We can save ourselves some trouble." The crowd glanced at him. Saint Tian Kuei was a little speechless. "Do Tian, if you want to capture them, you can try. It's about time your master came. You're not qualified." Do Tian was a little aggrieved. As a heavenly king powerhouse, he did not advance later than Moon Spirit and Tian Kuei. In fact, he advanced earlier. However, these people treated him as a weakling. He had no choice. He was almost killed by Fang Ping. Naturally, he could not raise his head among the heavenly kings. King Qian and the rest could not be bothered with him. King Qian looked at King Kuan and the rest and said, "King Kuan, King Sun, and King Zhen all have the heavenly king seals. 4 heavenly king seals might be able to activate the 9 emperor seals. However," King Qian paused and said, "Since you don't have the heavenly king seals, I won't chase you away. However, you still have to clear the place. All the saints have left. Some heavenly kings. Do Tian, you guys should leave." Do Tian's face turned green. What did he mean? Moon Spirit, Tian Kuei, Unquestionable Jian, the 3 of you should leave to clear the place. The weak should leave. The fight for the 9 emperor seals should not involve these people. At this moment, the few powerhouses were silent. Tian Kuei stood far away and did not go near. He scolded, "Get lost! That's a divine weapon forged by my father. Why should I leave?" He was not leaving. He realized he was too weak. He might have a chance to become stronger after obtaining the 9 emperor seals. He was not leaving. He wanted to fight for the 9 emperor seals as well. He had a good chance. He was the descendant of a sovereign, and the 9 emperor seals were forged by a sovereign. He might have the upper hand. King Qian smiled and looked at Hong Yu. "Hong Yu, why don't you show some of your strength? If you're not strong enough, you should leave too." Hong Yu laughed and said softly, "They haven't even activated the 9 emperor seals, and they're already fighting amongst themselves. No wonder they can't achieve anything great. Once they can't activate it, aren't they going to look for human powerhouses? If you chase us away now, can you really force the humans to take out the 9 emperor seals?" Hong Yu shook his head and sighed. "They're all scattered. No wonder they're forced to this extent." Everyone's expression changed when they heard this. It was not a provocation, but it was the truth. These heavenly kings were indeed very scattered. If they did not scatter, they would not have been forced to such a state by the experts of the human clan. If they wanted to be locked up, they would be locked up. If they wanted to stay, they would stay. Moon Spirit smirked. "After chasing me away, I'll cooperate with the humans immediately. I want to see how you're going to obtain the 9 emperor seals." What a joke! According to King Qian, apart from those who held the emperor token, those who remained were powerhouses who had broken 7. They would be chased away if they were heavenly kings. However, a heavenly king was a heavenly king. So what if a few heavenly kings joined forces? It was not like there were no examples of them rebelling. King Qian glanced at the few of them and smiled. After a while, he said, "What you said makes sense. However, why do you have to keep it a secret?" We've wasted too much time because of the 9 emperor seals. Since we've come to this. King Qian paused for a moment before he said what he wanted to say. If you insist on staying and can't activate the 9 emperor seals later, don't say that you don't want to fight or participate when we're dealing with the humans. King Qian said coldly, if there's something to gain, you'll fight. If there's nothing to gain, you'll retreat. Do you think we're fools? If you want to gain something, you'll have to pay the price. If we can't chase you away now, and we can't activate the 9 emperor seals, you'll disappear when we're dealing with the humans. This isn't the first time you've done this. This was his goal. These fellows were very cunning. When there were benefits, they would come quickly, but when there were no benefits, they would all hide and disappear without a trace. On the human side, the suppressing Heavenly King was very strong. Although King Wu was not too strong, it was not easy to defeat or kill him to force him to take out the 9 emperor seals. At this moment, Li Zhu also smiled and said, that's right. Before he finished speaking, King Kuan said impatiently, Li Zhu, don't give me that. I'm talking about you. Do you think that we're idiots? You can fool us however you want. This time, if you don't do anything, then you'll leave. Otherwise, all the spectators are enemies. Don't blame us for clearing the place. We'll clear you guys first. King Kuan had been unhappy with him for a long time. Other than coming out to stir up trouble, he did not do anything during the battle. Previously, he was forced to reveal his strength of breaking 7, which made King Kuan especially vigilant. Li Zhu laughed. A group of heavenly kings had their own plans. How could it be so simple? However, at this point, everyone was impatient and somewhat dissatisfied. At this moment, if they tried to fish in troubled waters, they might become the target of public criticism. Li Zhu thought about it and said, since it has come to this, if we still can't find the 9 emperor seals from the 4 king seals this time, we need everyone to work together. Otherwise, the big winners this time will be those few humans. Everyone, are you guys trapped here for a few months just to watch the humans reap the benefits? If that's the case, what's the point of staying here? Why don't we leave early lest we waste time here and risk our lives? King Qian smiled faintly and said, we're not fools, we're all smart people. This is also what I want to say. On the human side, Li Zhan is still extremely strong. Even I dare not say that I've seen through his foundation. However, no matter how strong he is, even if he really proves his Tao and becomes a paragon, we're not afraid of him even if we work together. Now we're like a plate of loose sand. How can we fight against the enemy's 3 strongest humans? After saying that, he suddenly looked at Unquestionable Jian and said faintly, Unquestionable Jian, you've reincarnated, right? Unquestionable Jian ignored him. You've reincarnated into the human race. I don't care what you want to do, but you better think this through. If everyone gains nothing, and you continue to block the other parties with the humans, all the powerhouses here will be your enemies. Are you threatening me? That's right. King Qian said coldly, yes, it's a threat. Unquestionable Jian, do you think you're a match for us now? Unquestionable Jian's gaze was cold as he looked at King Qian. After a while, he said, I can kill you. How arrogant of you. King Qian's aura exploded, causing the air to tremble. If you've broken 8, I'll admit defeat. If you haven't broken 8, you can try. The atmosphere was tense. King Kuan and the others also looked at Unquestionable Jian with a smirk on their faces. If Unquestionable Jian really broke 8, they were not afraid. Instead, they would be able to make everyone join forces and kill him together. There were many people who had broken 7. It was not strange for an old antique like the sea suppressing envoy to be at the peak of 7. If they joined forces, they might be able to kill a powerhouse who had broken 8. Unquestionable Jian looked around and smirked. However, he did not say anything else. No one was surprised. At this moment, even if unquestionable Jian had the strength to break 8, he would not fall out with King Qian. At this point, King Qian said again, "Now, if anyone leaves, you can pretend I didn't say what I said earlier. If you don't leave, it means you agree with what I said earlier. If you attack the humans, you'll have to help. Does anyone want to leave?" No one moved. He didn't come here for nothing. King Qian said with a smile, "Then this temporary alliance can be considered to have reached a temporary consensus. Hong Kuan, let's try." As soon as he finished speaking, a heavenly king's seal shot into the sky, releasing an extremely powerful aura. "Go." On the other side, King Sun and King Zhen also shouted. A seal shot into the sky, releasing a shocking aura. King Kuan did not hesitate anymore. He casually tossed out a heavenly king seal. 4 heavenly king seals formed a quadrilateral, releasing an aura that caused the air to tremble. Buzz, buzz. Buzzing sounds could be heard continuously. However, everyone frowned. In the next moment, everyone broke through the air and teleported hundreds of miles away. King Qian and the others grabbed at the void. In the next moment, their faces were filled with disappointment. King Kuan frowned and said, "I can't pinpoint the exact location. The 9 Emperor seal appeared here before." At the back, Do Tian could not help but ask, "Can the 9 Emperor seal move on its own? Can weapons become spirits too?" King Kuan frowned and said, "What do you know?" Weapons may not be able to become spirits, but the 9 Emperor seal is tainted with the aura of the 9 Emperor. It will become sentient. It will be affected by some aura and move at any time. If it's so difficult to capture, how did the Azure Cat control the 9 Emperor seal for so many years? Everyone could not be bothered with him. Do Tian's expression became even uglier. Everyone sneered in their hearts. "We're not your masters. Are we obliged to tell you this?" Hong Yu, on the other hand, smiled and said, "It's simple. The Azure Cat is not dangerous because the Azure Cat is related to the origin. The 9 Emperor seal is also related to the origin. That's why the Azure Cat can take it at will. If the 9 Emperor seal was so simple, there would not be a Palm Seal envoy among the 3 envoys. Don't tell me you think the Palm Seal envoy is just a random title?" Do Tian understood. He felt a little aggrieved. These old antiques looked down on him. It was really annoying. King Kuan did not care about that. He said, "Try again. If it doesn't work, we can only look for the humans." "All right." Everyone agreed. Soon, the 4 heavenly kings used the heavenly king seal again to locate the target. Again and again. He broke through the void, broke through the space, but he failed every time. They could not find it, or rather, they found it but could not capture it. Someone's eyes flickered in the crowd. Were the 4 heavenly kings really unable to find it, or were they deliberately using the opportunity to kill the human cultivators? They could not tell if they did not wield the heavenly king seal. But it was not impossible. Everyone knew that although the humans did not have the most cultivators, they were the most united. They were not like them, who belonged to different forces and could not reach a consensus. As a result, the humans frequently gained the upper hand. Now, they could take this opportunity to unite the various forces. It was also an opportunity. Whether it was true or not, no one said a word. Many people needed this opportunity. Outside the realm battlefield, beside a lake, Zhang Tao looked into the distance, frowning in thought while eating the big fish that Warlord had painstakingly caught. Warlord was panting. The big fish was not strong, but it was hiding in the lake. This lake was similar to the embittered sea and was difficult to detect. He had also spent a lot of effort to catch it. Seeing that Zhang Tao was almost done eating, Warlord could not help but say, "Leave some for me." "I caught it. You're almost done eating. Aren't you embarrassed?" I'm a dying man. Get lost. Warlord said grumpily. The more I think about it, the more I feel that something is wrong. If you're really going to die, do you still have the time to eat fish? If you're really going to die, you'll definitely go find Fong Ping and the others. Why are you still hanging around with me? What are you saying? Humph! Warlord snorted coldly. He was full of dissatisfaction, but did not bother to argue. He asked, what do we do next? You go find the other human powerhouses and get them to gather. Zhang Tao's eyes flickered. The situation is not looking good. Those people are getting impatient. The 9 Emperors' seal hasn't appeared yet. Fong Ping, this brat, has been domineering and intimidating. This brat is too arrogant. It's easy for those fellows to be afraid. None of these fellows have appeared at Spirit Emperor Dojo. They've all gone over there. If we can't find the 9 Emperors' seal, I suspect that they might join forces against us. Warlord frowned. Then we're in big trouble. I'm afraid you and Old Li won't be able to handle it. Nonsense, Zhang Tao said grumpily. Even if Old Li has broken 8, he might not dare to use it. At most, he'll deal with 2 broken 7 heavenly kings. There are many broken 7 heavenly kings over there. King Qian, King Kuan, Li Zhu, and the Sea Guardian have all broken 7. As for me, among those heavenly kings, the only one I'm confident of dealing with is actually Heaven Reverse. Are you that scared? Zhang Tao's expression was ugly. Nonsense, I'm not that strong. Do you think I've broken 8-7? Haven't I just achieved Heavenly King combat strength? Come to think of it, he was the real Heavenly King newbie, who had just broken 6. The reason why he said he could deal with Heaven Reverse was because Fong Ping told him that Heaven Reverse was best at sealing Dao. His Dao was considered broad, so it would probably be difficult for Heaven Reverse to do it. That was why he was confident. As for the others, even the celestial ones, he had no confidence of dealing with them. Zhang Tao did not say much to him. He said quickly, go, find everyone. If we're scattered, it'll be easy for the other party to deal with us. What about you? I'll go over there to keep an eye on them. I don't know where Old Li has gone. There's no one there to keep an eye on them. That kid Fong Ping is focused on collecting saint tokens. If he lets those people join forces, it'll be too disadvantageous for us. Is Unquestionable Sword over there? Do you think he'll still recognize you as his martial uncle? Don't expect too much from him. Warlord pursed his lips. That's hard to say. Unquestionable Sword. If it's really, forget it, we'll see. There were some things that he might not be unaware of, but he did not want to say much. Although Fong Ping and the others did not mention it, Warlord was not stupid. He had more or less guessed it. He muttered in his heart, if it's really him, how many years has he been calling me patriarch since he was my martial nephew? Doesn't he have this little bit of affection? Zhang Tao said nothing. After finishing the fish, he got up and flew away. His speed was extremely fast. There was no sign of the sickly look he had just now. Warlord looked at the remaining fish bones, a little helpless. He was not doing anything. If it weren't for the fact that you're under a lot of pressure, kid, I would have King scolded you to death. Warlord scolded. Zhang Tao looked relaxed, but in reality, he was still under a lot of pressure. In this godforsaken place, enemies were everywhere. Even a heavenly king would die without a burial place if they were not careful. Fong Ping's entry actually did not change anything. On the contrary, it increased the pressure on humans. How could Zhang Tao not feel pressured? Warlord was also clear about this. He could not be bothered to fuss over some small things. The stronger a human powerhouse, the greater the pressure. Heavenly kings still had the ability to protect themselves. Fong Ping and Zhang Tao did not. The probability of them dying was too high. Warlord scolded for a while, but a hint of worry flashed across his eyes. Emperor rank. Beginner emperor rank. We can't do anything at all. The Heavenly King's realm is still far from us. Find that kid Li Jun and see if there's a chance to hold back a few saints. Warlord did not delay any further. He quickly flew away and left the place. On the other side, Fong Ping did not find the two catacombs kings or the three guardians. These people had all run to the space battlefield. However, it was not that he did not gain anything. At this moment, Fong Ping was chasing after Immortal Inquire Island's priestess. As he chased, Fong Ping explained, I really have no ill intentions. Over at Immortal Inquire Island, Rainbow Butterfly Saint has returned and is on good terms with Song Mao. Back then, Spirit Emperor doted on Song Mao very much. When the war broke out previously, Immortal Inquire Island's fairy Yu Wuhua helped humans and proved her Tao as a true god. She joined forces with us to fight. Although I am not polite to the enemy, I will never do anything to you. In front of him, Priestess Inquire looked very young, but at this moment, she looked helpless. You want the saint's token? I met Qing Tong, and he mentioned this before. However, the saint's token is a holy weapon. How can it be given away so easily? Fong Ping, ask yourself honestly, if someone forcefully snatched your god-slaying saber, would you be willing to give it up? Senior, what are you saying? Did I snatch it? Fong Ping explained, I'm not that kind of person. Exchange. Senior, can't you see the current situation? The ownership of the 9 Emperor Seals has been confirmed. The Saint's token is definitely a hot potato. Moreover, the Spirit Emperor's bloodline is on good terms with us humans. If you wander around now, it'll be even more dangerous. Those heavenly kings won't care so much. If there's danger, they'll destroy it. Senior, you have no one to rely on here. If you encounter the hostile heavenly kings of the humans, you'll be in trouble. In front of him, Priestess Inquire's face was livid. What are you going to exchange for it? The god-slaying saber. Priestess Inquire sneered, slightly dissatisfied. You think I don't know your situation? Trying to get something for nothing? No matter what you say, it's useless. Fong Ping laughed. Of course not. Senior, no matter how strong the weapon is, it's still a foreign object. I'll exchange 100,000 yuan of imperishable substance and 10,000 cloud origin chi to strengthen you. Isn't that better than the weapon? Priestess Inquire snorted. I've always said that you, Fong Ping, have a lot of things. It's true, but if you want to exchange for a holy weapon, you must be dreaming. 100,000 yuan of imperishable substance was worth 1 billion wealth points. 10,000 cloud origin chi was also worth 1 billion points of imperishable substance. Fong Ping seemed to have made up his mind. 30,000 cloud origin chi. Senior, a strong origin is fundamental. If the saint token is useful to me, who would exchange it for so much origin chi? You won't have anywhere to exchange it. Fong Ping, you underestimate me. It's not like I don't have any savings after so many years. Fong Ping's expression changed for a while. 300,000 yuan of imperishable substance and 50,000 cloud origin chi. If you're still not tempted, then forget I said anything. 36 saint tokens. I don't believe that others won't be tempted. In front, Priestess Inquire looked conflicted. After a while, she gritted her teeth and said, I have enough imperishable substance. Origin chi, give me 100,000 clouds. Senior, are you robbing me? Fong Ping suddenly turned hostile. 100,000 clouds. Senior, you've never accumulated so much in your entire life. Do you really think I won't have to pay the price? Then I'd rather die. Forget it, I'm not exchanging. I'll go look for Heavenly Emperor, Wuya. Senior, be careful. If you get robbed later, don't say I didn't warn you. Priestess Inquire cursed in her heart and said, 50,000 is too little. 60,000. Fong Ping was like an anti-haggling in the market. After haggling for a while, he finally agreed to 70,000 clouds. In addition to the imperishable substance, the consumption was not small. 10 billion wealth points. However, if he exchanged it for the saint token, he could increase it by 5 billion points. In addition to a saint token, this deal was still extremely worthwhile. Very soon, the deal was made. The 9th saint token was in his hands. As for Fong Ping, after obtaining the 9th saint token, he quickly refined it and no longer pestered Priestess Inquire. At this moment, he could also feel the signs of an approaching storm. He had been in the fake sky cemetery for 3 days, other than King Kuan and Li Zhu attacking him once in the beginning. There was no movement after that. It was either they did not come, or, if they did, he was afraid that it would be a huge storm. Chapter 12:01. After refining the 9th saint token, this was the 3rd saint token that Fong Ping had obtained after coming out of closed-door cultivation. The more saint tokens he had, Fong Ping realized that his origin world was becoming more and more stable and solid. The somewhat illusory origin world was becoming more and more real now. The current Fong Ping's strength had also undergone some minor changes. Wealth, 78 billion points vitality, 1,710,000 calories, 1,710,000 calories. Mentality, 19,999 hertz, 19,999 hertz, can be cut. Origin world, 2,400 meters vertically, 105% increase, 8,800 meters horizontally, 88% increase. Origin world, 155 meters combat techniques. God-slaying saber techniques, plus 9%. Combat techniques combination deduction, 1 million points / time strength control, 82% limit outburst. 423-4644 cal / 5164200 cal. In a mountain stream, Fong Ping observed the changes in his data. The origin path had regained its previous length, 2,400 meters vertically, but the increase was only 1%. The 10% decrease in the 100 meters covered seemed to have disappeared completely. In that case, if I cover the first 1,000 meters, my foundation will increase a lot, and it will slowly decrease later. Breaking 6. Right now, Fong Ping's goal was to break 6. His limit had reached the point of breaking 6, but his strength control was still insufficient. 82% strength control. It hasn't increased or decreased during this period. This means that I haven't practiced enough these few days. He used a few days to measure, but he did not know that others used hundreds or thousands of years to calculate. However, Fong Ping was indeed not very satisfied. In a short time, it would be difficult for his strength to have a significant increase. On the other hand, once his control increased, he might be able to break 6 and become a heavenly king powerhouse. It's time to go to the space battlefield. Fong Ping leaped into the air, looking at the dark area in the distance. The Spirit Emperor Dojo was connected to a space battlefield. This battlefield might have been transformed by a weapon master. Right now, a large number of powerhouses were inside. Some of the sages were there as well. If he did not go there and kept hiding in the back, it would be difficult for him to develop wretchedly. Fong Ping no longer hesitated. He moved forward bravely, knowing the difficulties. Only then could he become stronger. Hoping to achieve heavenly king in the outside world was as difficult as ascending to heaven. I'm coming. A murmur reverberated in the air. Fong Ping had already disappeared completely. It was time to go to the core area. At the same time, a few sages also gathered at the space battlefield. In the periphery, the fortuitous opportunities were almost all gone. At this moment, the remaining people also wanted to go in and try their luck. Perhaps they could pick up some benefits. Earth. Shanghai. The cat fell asleep. This time, it slept very soundly. It didn't wake up for 2 whole days. Fong family. On the lawn. Old man Li was like an old farmer in the countryside, squatting on the ground. He held a cigarette in his hand and took a few puffs from time to time. On the other side, Wu Quishan maintained his image. He chatted with Fang Yuan for a while and sent her away. He turned to look at old man Li and said, somewhat speechless, "Mind your image. You're the longevity sword, the famous one. Look at yourself now." Old man Li raised his head and glanced at him. He moved his chin and pointed at the sweet sleeping cat. "That's the famous Emperor Tsang. Does it have an image?" Wu Quishan was speechless. After a while, he said, "It's a cat. It doesn't think of itself as a powerhouse. How dare you compare yourself to it? I don't think of myself as a powerhouse, and I'm not one to begin with." Old man Li said a few words casually. Soon he said, "Tomorrow morning, I plan to go there." "Do you really believe him?" Wu Quishan frowned. "Can his words be trusted? It might even be a conspiracy, a plot against you. You're the current pillar of humanity. If anything happens to you, then don't always be afraid of something happening." Old man Li extinguished his cigarette. It shattered instantly, leaving no trace behind. He stood up and said, "You can't always be afraid. You have to try. Now that Fong Ping and the others aren't here, if the other party really invades Earth, it'll be big trouble." As he said that, he glanced at the fat cat, sleeping soundly in front of him, and smiled bitterly. "Why don't you try and throw this cat out of Earth now?" Wu Quishan was speechless. "Go and throw it yourself." Both of them looked at the cat. Wu Quishan was slightly helpless. "The cat seems to be really asleep. Previously, I wanted to let the cat move to lure the other party out of the restricted area and into the Forbidden Sea. This way, there'll be some safety assurance. However, this cat is asleep now. If you go, you'll have to go deep into the restricted area. It's too dangerous. Right under the 9 saints' noses. If you're surrounded and killed, old Mu and the others won't be able to rescue you. When that time comes, you'll really be alone and helpless. If you go to the Forbidden Sea, you can still get close to the fake sky grave. If something happens, you can still let the cat inform Fong Ping and the others to come back in time. But the cat is asleep." Wu Quishan was really helpless. Now that he had lost contact with the fake sky grave, the connection between humans and the other side was all because of this cat, who knew that the cat was sleeping soundly. Wu Quishan had already tried to shout a few times. Fang Yuan almost danced on the cat's stomach, but the cat did not wake up. This time, it was probably really asleep. "Don't always count on this fat cat." At this time, Old Man Li spoke less hesitantly. He laughed and said, "Always count on this cat. How can we live without it?" "But the new martial artists are here to kill it." Old Man Li raised his hand and interrupted. "Without this cat, the new martial artists might not be our friends. Since the cat is asleep, let it sleep. I'll go and try. It's not that easy to kill me." At this moment, he wore the long sword at his waist, one hand holding the long sword. Nurturing the sword. He had not nurtured the sword for a long time. This time, he did not nurture it for long, just 2 days. However, it was different from before. In the previous battle, he had experienced a lot. Now that he was nurturing the sword, it was no longer vitality nurturing the sword. Power was the only thing. Then he would use his only thing to nurture the sword. Essence, chi, and spirit, including vitality, could all be nurtured for this sword. After 2 days, Old Man Li had aged a little, but his spirit was still very strong. "After I leave, be careful." Although the humans today have a lot of external help, there are not many powerhouses that belong to us. The God Creation Envoy is over at Startown. It seems like she can't come out, and you can't rely on others. You have to improve your own strength faster. As Old Manly spoke, he took a step and said, "I'll go to MCMU to take a look. You go do your thing." Wu Quishan wanted to say something more, but Old Man Li had already stepped into the void and disappeared. Wu Quishan sighed and squatted down. Looking at the cat that was sleeping soundly, he sighed and said, "Cat, there are some things that I don't want to say, but I still have to say a few words. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, if something happens to Li Changsheng, can you make a trip out of Earth? Lure the enemy away. I know this is not appropriate, but there are too few human powerhouses. We can't afford to lose them." "You are very capable." After saying a few words, Wu Quishan sighed again and turned to leave. Some things were selfish to say, but he still chose to say it. He would rather let the cat take the risk than let Li Changsheng take the risk. He actually had many ways to lure the cat away, but in the end, he still chose to make it clear to the cat. The Devil Emperor seemed to have tried to scheme against this cat, and it did not end well. It was better to say it directly. Maybe there was still some hope. He left. After leaving, the cat's eyes moved. At this moment in the source world, a cat was yawning lazily. There seemed to be a voice beside its ear, but it did not. It yawned and muttered, "Who is disturbing the cat's dream?" At this moment, the cat floated out of the range of the cat's world. It yawned and opened its mouth to continue eating. Yes, eating. Outside the range of the cat's world, there was a lot of delicious food, all kinds of snacks and drinks. The cat moved its body with difficulty, wriggling forward. As it wriggled, it ate. As it wriggled, a small path was opened up in front of it. This was a good idea thought of by the cat. "I won't open the path. I'm too tired, and it doesn't have the patience to open the path. But I can eat while playing." It scattered the delicious food in a line, opened up a little, ate a little, and walked along the food. At this moment, in front of the fat cat, there was food. It was too tiring to open the path, but there was food in front, so it could reluctantly move forward a little. His fat body tumbled in the void, in the dark world. It dragged out a trace like a road, but it was a little curved. The cat's eyes were dazed, and it forgot that it had to open the path. It only remembered that it had to eat. The food in front was delicious, so it could talk after eating. The chubby cat body continued to roll, rolling, stopping, eating a few mouthfuls, sleeping for a while, and continuing forward. Behind it, it was nearly 100 meters away from the cat's world. "Meow, eat, eat. I'll be powerful after eating." The cat muttered. It had scattered its snacks 1,000 meters away. After eating it, it should be a little more powerful, right? Everyone was working hard to become stronger. Even that lazy cat had come up with a way to promote itself to become stronger for the first time. In this era, everyone was forced to become stronger. And at the same time, they were all becoming stronger. A group of stronger people were also struggling to become stronger. In the depths of the sea of bitterness, even deeper, in a distant and endless place, a black crack was faintly discernible. The crack ran through the entire world. At the end of the sky, there was a trace of light. An incomparably huge continental plate, like a new world, was floating in the void, floating in space. It ran through many heavens as if it had existed since ancient times. At this moment, a figure that ran through the world appeared in the darkness. A big golden dog, as big as a star, covered the sky and the earth, particularly dazzling in the dark void, compared with the huge continent over there. The big dog seemed a little small, but it was still extremely domineering. It roared at the sky, and its roar pierced through the layers of heaven and earth. Is the one feeding the cat okay? The big dog roared and faced it across the air. A giant that seemed to be able to open the sky stepped on the starry sky, holding a giant axe, and laughed. I can still hold on. Heavenly Hound, well done. You finally locked up these old guys. The Heavenly Hound roared again. The one guarding the bathhouse, is he still alive? On the other side, an ancient giant with a dim golden body was lying in the void. At this moment, its voice was weak, but with a smile, of course, it's not that easy to kill me. Seeing this, the chief steward of the cat palace laughed and said, That's good. You too, seal these bastards. Fortunately, they came, otherwise they would have broken the shackles of heaven and earth. Before the voice died away, on the huge continent in the center, a long spear shot up. Rumble, thunder in the void, like a thunder tribulation. At this moment, in the sky above the continent, countless energy condensed and formed and slashed at the long spear. Ha ha ha, you can't seal us. Soon, we'll be back soon. Heavenly Hound, you were lucky to escape back then, and you still dare to come back to die. Today, I'll fulfill your wish. Tianchen, I thought you were dead when you killed the fire god back then. Since you're not dead, why don't you hide? How dare you show yourself? You little thing over there, do you think that you can't die because of the seal of heaven? At this moment, in the center of the continent, an incomparably huge palm, while the energy was slashing at the long spear, slapped out of the continent. Rumble! The universe seemed to be trembling. At the same time, the Heavenly Hound's body grew again, and it roared madly. It's you, old thing. You were the one who attacked me back then. Today I'll swallow you. Heaven devouring. At this moment, an incomparably huge mouth that seemed to want to swallow the entire heaven and earth quickly swallowed the palm. Below, the long spear exploded with countless dazzling lights, and the void was broken layer by layer, causing the heaven and earth to gather countless energy to bombard the palm. At this moment, a few more weapons floated out from below. A long rod, incomparably dazzling, shot out, heading straight for the Heavenly Hound. Before the long rod arrived, the Heavenly Hound's huge mouth began to crack. A fist, even larger than the palm, broke through the void and came for the Heavenly Hound. The Cat Palace's general manager laughed. Do you think I'm a dead man? At this moment, a giant axe fell from the sky. Beginner martial arts should have ended long ago. Ridiculous. Tian Chun, who dares to say that beginner martial arts should end? Without us, where does martial arts come from? You lucky bastard. How dare you compete with the sun and moon? Rumble. The world was filled with light. The giant axe slashed at the fist, bursting with dazzling light. Energy swept in all directions, and the void was broken again. On the other side, the Heavenly Hound was incomparably ferocious. It bit the palm, making a crunching sound, and vaguely blood dripped out. Blood shot out, breaking through the void, piercing through layers of heaven and earth. The long rod hit the Heavenly Hound's head with a bang, causing the Heavenly Hound to roar again and again, and the huge dog's head emitted a deafening roar. At this moment, on the other side, the spring guard roared, and his fist broke through the void. In the void, a seemingly transparent figure appeared, chuckling, instantly turning into nothingness, and in the blink of an eye, pierced through the spring guard's fist. The spring guard roared again, and a wave of mental energy swept in all directions. However, the mental energy that erupted was instantly torn apart. Descend! Suppress! The spring guard's eyes were bloodshot, and he roared crazily. At this moment, a real world descended. Source world. It was not just a world, it was a star, and this star directly descended here. With a loud bang, it violently hit the void. Source. A cold laugh sounded, and a figure appeared. The figure was holding the star in the void, and with a low laugh, it instantly exploded. Kacha! The sound of cracking could be heard. Cracks appeared on the source star. You broke my source. You're courting death. At this moment, the spring guard completely exploded, and in the void, stars appeared one after another. Not just one, but countless of them. They were not as real as the first star, and they were somewhat illusory, but it did not stop these source stars from bringing source chi. At this moment, the spring guard roared again. All das belong to me. In the next moment, all the stars merged into one, instantly turning into a battle suit. The battle suit landed on the spring guard's body. At this moment, the spring guard's aura surged, and he roared angrily, "You dare to look down on me, Sherpa? Today, I will kill you, a beginner god, and prove my Tao." As soon as he finished speaking, his fist broke through the void, and he attacked the illusory figure that was breaking his source. That person turned his head, and his eyes exploded. "What a good Sherpa! I have really underestimated you. Although the 10,000 Daos you tormented in the past are illusory, you do have some ability. All Daos will eventually return to one. Even if it is illusory, it is still 10,000 Daos. It is enough to kill you." Sherpo's voice was cold. In the past, a top expert who dared to peep at an emperor, who dared to compete with Heavenly Hound, who fought for 300 years, and who could create an origin realm expert. How could he not have any ability? At this moment, the illusory 10,000 Daos returned to one. Even if it was illusory, it seemed to be connected to another world. In the sky above Sherpa, a dead silent world appeared. Endless source chi gushed out and surged into him. The battle suit was like a garment of stars, flickering with starlight. Heavenly Hound, whose head was about to explode from being hit by the long rod, actually had the time to speak at this moment. He laughed loudly. The one guarding the bathhouse is quite capable to actually connect to the origin realm. Looks like you are not far from becoming an ultimate expert. Of course. Sherpa was proud of himself. "What are you guys talking about?" The cat guard leader scolded. "They are asking for death. These two are not reliable at all. Why are they flattering each other at this time?" As expected, at this moment, the expert holding up the vast planet sneered. "Illusions are illusions in the end. The Tao of origin has so many flaws. It is not worthy to compete with the elementary martial arts." As soon as he finished speaking, an incomparably powerful spiritual force swept over. Almost instantly, a hand that mended the sky seemed to appear in the void. The huge hand appeared and covered the entrance to the dead silent world above the spring guard. The transmission of source chi was interrupted, and the spring guard's aura instantly dropped. Damn it! At this moment, the spring guard was furious. "Seal! You have learned the art of sealing the origin. Go to hell." The person holding up the vast planet did not say anything else, and once again attacked the declining spring guard. At this moment, a metal chain pierced through the void, and with a bang, it shattered the hand that sealed the sky. In the next moment, the spring guard's aura recovered, and he punched out. With a boom, the person holding up the vast planet was smashed into pieces. On the other side, the Heavenly Hound bit the palm until it completely broke, and hit the long rod with its head, knocking it away, and roared, "Cat feed, isn't that my divine artifact chain?" This damn guy, didn't he say he didn't know where it was? Didn't he say he lost it? What was the metal chain that broke the palm just now? The cat guard leader calmly retracted the metal chain and lightly said, "What, yours? This is the spirit-shattering whip that I forged with the essence of the origin. I will bite you to death." The Heavenly Hound was furious. Who was he trying to fool? That must be his. Even the aura felt a little familiar. Seeing that the Heavenly Hound was about to attack, the cat guard leader said, angrily, still messing around, These guys have not completely escaped, and they are all fighting with doppelgangers and weapons. Stop messing around. Fight the enemy properly. Return it to me. What, return it to you? I will bite you to death. The heavenly hound pounced on him crazily, not returning his divine artifact. He should just bite him to death. This cat feed actually stole his divine artifact. Hateful. Shameful. On the other side, the spring guard, who still had lingering fear, saw this and scolded angrily. What are you guys doing still messing around? I was almost killed. That's because you're useless. The heavenly hound, who had just praised him, did not hesitate at this moment and said disdainfully. The spring guard's eyes were fierce, and he scolded angrily. Who are you saying is useless? I have broken 7 holes, pierced through the origin, connected to the origin world, and borrowed the origin chi, unparalleled talent, 10,000 daos as one. Even emperors are inferior to me. You were almost killed. The heavenly hound snorted coldly. The spring guard scolded and said sullenly, he somewhat counters me. Next time, change to another one. The 2 you fought, if they met me, they would also be beaten to the ground. This one won't do. This somewhat counters him. His 10,000 daos as one, after all, was fake, too illusory. Once it was sealed, his strength would fall greatly. If it was a powerhouse of the physical Tao, it would not be too much of a counter to him. The fake 10,000 daos as one would also greatly increase his strength, and he would not fear any ultimate powerhouse. Those who are restrained are trash. The heavenly hound continued to look down on him. Unlike this dog, who was well-rounded and invincible, when I met the one just now, I sealed myself and bit him to death. At this moment, below, the long rod and long spear retreated, and the world returned to silence. The fist and palm disappeared. The illusory figure was broken, and a cold snort came from below, but it did not seem to be a big deal. The heavenly hound did not care about that, and after pestering the spring guard for a while, it triumphantly took back the dog chain that belonged to it. At the same time, the continent below seemed to have erupted into chaos. Rumbling sounds rang out incessantly. The cat guard glanced at it and frowned slightly. The heavenly hound did not even look at it, fiddling with the dog chain for a while, and asked, do we charge in now or continue to seal the world? Charge in? The cat guard glanced at it and said with a frown, then you go in. The heavenly hound was extremely domineering, and when it heard that, it sneered and directly charged down. The spring guard was stunned for a moment, and the cat guard shook his head slightly, not saying much. A moment later, the heavenly hound's tail was broken in half, and it returned in a sorry state, without saying a word, and glanced at the cat guard smugly. Charge in or not? As for escaping, that was another matter. The cat guard could not be bothered with it, but the spring guard praised, you have courage, big hound, continue. Kill them all. These people killed you back then. If you don't take revenge, how can you feel at ease? Go, continue to charge. Kill one as one. He kept egging it on, and the heavenly hound bared its teeth, cold and piercingly cold, as if it was going to bite him to death in the next moment. Soon, it suddenly said, oh, right, I just saw the corpse of the spirit emperor below stripped naked, and looked at by them for tens of thousands of years. Roar! The spring guard was furious, and without saying a word, he charged down. The cat guard was very tired. Enough. If these two continued like this, he would have to leave. Otherwise, he would be killed by these two sooner or later. A moment later, the spring guard dragged his wounded body back, and with a cold snort, he looked at the heavenly hound with an unfriendly expression. The heavenly hound did not think much of it. It was just a joke, and you took it seriously. If you were not a fool, who was? Stop fooling around. The cat guard scolded and said in a low voice, strengthen the blockade, find a chance to kill 1 or 2 guys, break into the tomb of heaven, and see if there are any emperors trapped inside. The heavenly hound snorted. Those old things, who knows where they are hiding? Are they really trapped here? If they are really trapped here, they are probably completely dead. It's a waste of time to look. The cat guard did not speak. On the other side, the spring guard did not bother with this dog, and said, "There are parts of the remains of the 4 emperors scattered in this 8th heaven. Was it a trap, or were they really killed by someone?" The cat guard was speechless, and after a while he said, "You two, have you forgotten? This old man died 10,000 years earlier than you." One man and one dog looked at each other, speechless. There was nothing wrong with what he said. This old guy died too early. He really did not know what happened after. What he knew was also what they told him. Asking him now was a waste of time. The heavenly hound also said helplessly, "Back then, this king left early and did not know the specifics. The bathhouse guard, weren't you the last to die?" "Nonsense. I'm so strong. I was their target from the beginning." Sherpa said gloomily, "When the battle started, 3 palms fell from the sky, almost smashing me into pieces. How could I have the chance to understand? But," the spring guard suddenly said proudly, "it seems like a 4th palm attacked. It broke the 3 palms. It must be Spirit Emperor, who saved me. I knew it. She can't let go of me." The cat guard was tired again, and the heavenly hound was also speechless. "You're already tens of thousands of years old. Why are you acting like Hung Yu in heat?" The spring guard's eyes were sharp, and after a while he said, "If Hung Yu is not dead, he will kill you sooner or later." The heavenly hound said disapprovingly, "What's wrong? So what if he's not dead? That guy lost to Moon's spirit in bed. This king saw it with his own eyes." The cat guard really felt like his head was about to explode. "Enough." A reprimand interrupted the conversation between the man and the dog. "What do you think this place is? You're messing around here. P.S. I'm stuck. The lines are a little scattered. There are more things I want to throw out, but it's a little messy. Let me sort it out." Chapter 12:02. The true sky grave was at war. In the fake sky grave, Fong Ping had already crossed the void and entered the boundless darkness. Space battlefield, powerhouse's origin. Fong Ping found it hard to understand how the space battlefield was formed. After powerhouses died, why would the origin world transform into a new world, enter space, and become a real and illusory world? One must know that a martial artist's origin world was illusory, unless there was origin soil. Otherwise, no matter how big the world was, it was still an illusory world. But the space battlefield was obviously not. Of course, it might be a kind of seal of origin energy. The battlefield might not be a real world. Fong Ping was not too willing to delve into these things. Spirit Emperor Dojo was connected to the space battlefield. Half was in light, the other half was in darkness. The darkness had no effect on powerhouses like Fong Ping. Although he did not like the dark, in a dark environment, he had some advantages. He restrained his aura and could hide better. At this moment, as soon as Fong Ping stepped in, he felt something was wrong. Dead silence. Quiet. This world was too quiet. There were many powerhouses here. He did not know if it was because the place was too big, the people were scattered, or because of something else. Fong Ping felt vaguely uneasy. At this moment, Fong Ping's expression changed. He broke through the air instantly. Bang! A heavenly king's seal smashed down, and the void collapsed. Fong Ping had just dodged it when another heavenly king seal smashed down from behind. Bang! This time, it hit solidly. Crack! The golden body exploded, blood spurting out. This was just the beginning. In the next moment, a palm fell, trying to capture Fong Ping. Slash! Fong Ping roared. The god-slaying saber erupted with a dazzling light. He roared madly. On the blade, the origin energy was extremely rich. He was ambushed. there was actually a heavenly king ambushing him, and it was not just one. The giant hand fell directly. Fong Ping slashed it with his saber. With a splat, the palm was slashed and blood splattered everywhere. However, the palm was still falling. It was incomparably huge, wrapping Fong Ping in it directly. Not only that, at this time, even the surrounding void was fixed. 2 heavenly king seals hid in the void, sealing off the surroundings. Someone wanted to kill Fong Ping in one hit. Li Zhu. Fong Ping roared, waving his saber wildly. If you can't kill me today, I will avenge you in the future. Fong Ping, there's no use in talking. You and I were enemies to begin with. Back when you entered Heavenly Plant City, this king didn't take action because of a momentary lapse of thought. Yet now, you've grown so quickly that everyone fears you. If you don't die, the 3 realms won't be at peace. Let's give it a try then. Fong Ping let out a violent roar, his palm coming toward him. At this moment, beside Fong Ping, 9 saint tokens surrounded his body like a shield, merging into one to resist the pressure coming from the palm. 2 more heavenly kings had attacked him, King Sun and King Zhen. In order to ambush and kill him, they had actually sent out 3 heavenly king stage powerhouses. Furthermore, they had used the heavenly king seal to seal off the void, locking his aura and preventing it from leaking out. Fong Ping did not expect to encounter such a dangerous situation as soon as he entered this place. These people had never joined forces in the past, so it was difficult for individual heavenly kings to kill Fong Ping. But now, there were 3 of them. There was also Li Zhu, who had broken through the 7th level. The 9 saints' tokens shielded the gigantic hand, preventing it from squeezing down. Fong Ping's entire body was gushing with fresh blood. The pressure was too great. A heavenly king who had broken 7. At the very least, it was an outburst of 10 million cal. Even though he had 9 sage tokens to neutralize the force, and he had also unleashed his own attack, it was still difficult for him to block it. Li Zhu. Fong Ping roared angrily again. Do you really think you can kill me? Heavenly King? King Wu? Li Zhu's laughter could be heard. Heavenly King Zhen has been lured away by King Qian and King Kuan. King Wu has been trapped by Sea Guardian. Fong Ping, you should be proud. In order to deal with you, the 3 of us have moved out together. The 3 heavenly kings were all experienced. King Sun and King Zhen were both ancient heavenly kings. They might have the ability to break through the 7th level. Of course, they did not show it at this moment. Fong Ping's eyes were cold. Hopeless situation. He had just arrived. These people had already determined that he would come and had already made preparations. Old Zhang and Heavenly King Zhen were trapped. A dead end. It was really a dead end. Fong Ping was finding it harder and harder to hold on. Even if he kept recovering his vitality, the 9 saints' tokens had been compressed to his side and were even starting to get close to him. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. He was too careless. He was still too careless. He did not expect these people to be so determined. They had already made preparations to ambush and kill him. He had wanted to enter this place to fish in troubled waters, but these people did not give him the chance. Li Zhu was more decisive than expected when he needed to be. Kill Fong Ping. Bang! There was an explosion. Fong Ping could not withstand the huge pressure. His golden body began to explode, flesh and blood flying everywhere. Li Zhu's giant palm clenched tighter and tighter. At this moment, Li Zhu seemed to be impatient. He said, "Both of you, let's attack together. Let's end this quickly." As soon as he said this, 2 laughs came from the void. In the next moment, the 2 heavenly kings attacked. At this moment, a burst of light exploded in the distance. Zhang Tao soared into the sky, covered in blood. He cursed, "See, Guardian, do you really want to be the enemy of the human race? Damn it, release the restriction, or you will be in serious trouble today. Find the 9 Emperor seals, and I will let you go. I only want the 9 Emperor seals. See, Guardian's voice was indifferent. He did not want to get involved in the fight between the human race and other forces, but he wanted the 9 Emperor seals. He besieged King Wu to get the 9 Emperor seals. Zhang Tao roared, "I'll give it to you. Let go of me first. If Fang Ping is dead, don't even think about taking anything." In the depths of the void, there was a sudden explosion. Between heaven and earth, an incomparably huge and burly figure emerged. The subduing heavenly king said coldly, "King Qian, King Kuan, do you two really want to go against me?" In that instant, he was blasted into the void. He broke through the origin battlefield and entered the space rift directly. When he came out, the situation had already developed beyond his expectations. More than 10 heavenly king powerhouses had actually reached an agreement easily. This was faster than expected. At this moment, they were very far away from Fang Ping. Fang Ping was the weakest. Besieged by 3 heavenly kings, he might not last long. If it were not for his 9 refinements of golden body and the protection of the 9 saint tokens, he would have been crushed by Li Zhu. A heavenly king with a broken 7 refinements was not someone Fang Ping could compare to. Fang Ping and the other 2 had miscalculated. Although they had guessed that these people might have some ideas about them, the speed at which so many heavenly kings reached an agreement was still faster than they had expected. The human race was getting stronger and stronger. It had already become a threat to these people. Bang! His bones exploded. Fang Ping's leg bones exploded directly. At this moment, Fang Ping growled in a low voice. Vitality gushed out desperately to maintain the operation of the 9 saint tokens. His wealth was depleting rapidly, but Fang Ping could not care about this. The 9 saint tokens rotated wildly, counteracting the pressure from 3 heavenly kings. However, although the 9 holy weapons were powerful, Fang Ping's own strength was not enough. What could he do? Even the 9 divine weapons could not be saved at this moment. At the same time, elsewhere, the Demon Emperor and the others had gathered. Celestial Polarity, Moon Spirit, Demon Emperor, Sky Chief, the 3 Guardians, the 2 Catacombs Kings, Heaven Reverse, and Hongyu in the distance, and Feng's avatar. Heaven Reverse glanced at the Demon Emperor out of the corner of his eye, full of vigilance. Not far away, he closed his eyes and stood proudly in the void, not making a sound. His avatar had been repairing previously. He walked out now, not because of his combat strength, but to prevent the Demon Emperor from attacking. Unquestionable Jian kept his head down, not saying a word. Celestial Polarity was a little uncomfortable. He moved a little further away before saying, "King Qian and the others are really loyal. They did not let us attack. Just watch the show." Everyone ignored him. Loyal? King Qian and the others only excluded some uncertain factors to prevent them from suddenly changing their minds midway and counterattacking. That would be even more troublesome. If they didn't do anything, that would be the greatest help. Heaven Reverse and the others were here to watch them. Celestial Polarity saw that no one was paying attention to him, but he did not mind. He said, "They think very highly of Fang Ping. With the 3 heavenly kings attacking, Fang Ping is dead for sure. That's good too, lest this guy starts talking nonsense." No one paid attention to him. At this moment, Moon Spirit looked at the place where the golden light exploded. Around Fang Ping, 9 saint tokens were spinning, but how could they match up to the 3 heavenly kings? At this moment, his golden body was exploding continuously, the booming sounds echoing in all directions. This human king, who advanced with 2 saint tokens, was indeed powerful. outside the crowd. Even Heaven Reverse was a little shocked. If he fought Fong Ping one-on-one, he might not be able to kill Fong Ping. Fong Ping's golden body was too strong, and with the protection of 9 holy weapons, the key was that Fong Ping actually had enough energy to expend. This was even more terrifying. Ordinary, broken, 6 heavenly kings might not be able to do anything to Fong Ping. Human King, Moon's spirit said lightly, her tone cold. No one knew what she meant. She said in a low voice, if he can't avoid this, he will be a fake human king. Everyone was speechless. When the 3 heavenly kings attacked, even a perfected king would die. It was not a sin of war. It could only be said that human powerhouses should not be so outstanding. If they were too outstanding, it would definitely make everyone wary. He was the main character of this era, and yet he was so dazzling. Who would not be wary of him? If he had an internal conflict with Zhang Tao, it would be better. However, the 2 human kings of this generation were teachers and friends, and they supported each other. This was even more frightening. In the distance, Zhang Tao roared crazily. At this moment, the Book of Great Tao appeared, and the pointer turned into a blood saber, slashing wildly at a mirror in the air. See calming mirror. The Sea Guardian suppressed him. Old Li, do it. Hurry up. Do you still want to hide? Zhang Tao roared. His eyes were blood red, and he roared. Do you want to watch him die? Your 8,000 years of planning will go down the drain with his death. Today you will watch him die. Even if the human race remembers your kindness, if you watch the human king die, the human race will not do as you wish. In the distance, the heavenly king's expression was ugly. He shouted angrily, what do you know? You don't know anything. You only know how to talk nonsense. At this moment, the heavenly king punched. Without the slightest fluctuation, he punched out. However, King Kuen's expression was solemn. He also swung his sword, and his fist and sword collided in the void. The others did not feel anything, but King Qian, who was standing at the side, had his face flushed red. A wave of energy spread out and severed one of his fingers with a puffed sound. A top-notch heavenly king with a breakthrough of 7. King Qian, the leader of the 8 kings, was an expert with a breakthrough of 7. Today, one of his fingers was severed by the shock waves from the battle between the 2 of them. The heavenly king cursed in his heart. He looked at King Kuen as if it was the first time he met him, and his eyes were cold. King Kuen was indifferent and did not continue to attack. He looked at the heavenly king and said calmly, even if you're stronger than me, there's a limit to your strength. During these days, the injuries of my clone have already recovered. It's good that my clone is dead. It has strengthened my determination. Since that's the case, I'll go first. I was a little greedy in the past few years. The earthly sovereign has 2 good sons. You flatter me. King Kuen's expression was a little ferocious as he said in a low voice, if I don't become stronger, am I waiting for death? In the past, before the war, Father told me that he might not be able to return after leaving this time. The earthly sovereign's bloodline is strong, but it's also weak. The fault lies in Father's inability to support it alone. And now I have a vague feeling my father may not be able to return to the 3 realms. King Kuen's eyes were slightly red as he laughed at himself. So, I can only rely on myself. Li Zhan, all these years, you've ruined my plans time and time again. Aren't you also bullying the weak and afraid of the strong? Why don't you dare to be enemies with those people? Is it because you're afraid that the people behind them will settle the score? You're not afraid, because that day might not come, right? King Kuen laughed at himself and quickly restrained all his emotions. He said coldly, if that's the case, then fight. Whether Fong Ping dies or not, I don't care. If you interfere, I won't let you leave so easily. The heavenly king's face was cold. You know the consequences of killing him? I know, King Kuan said lightly. He's related to the immortal source or the origin. But what does it have to do with me? This world is chaotic enough. Let's make it even more chaotic. If Fang Ping dies, there will always be someone to replace him. Li Zhan, right? As King Kuan said that, he laughed and said, "Besides, I really want to see what will happen if I kill Fang Ping. If I kill him, maybe some of the conspiracies in the past will be exposed, right?" At the side, King Qian did not make a move. At this moment, he frowned slightly and looked at the two of them without saying a word. Both of them were slightly stronger than him. Although he was a broken 7 heavenly king, if these two were not peak broken 7, they might have advanced to the realm of the ultimate powerhouses. As the situation developed, everyone could not hide their strength anymore. One by one, they erupted. King Qian's gaze was strange. This 3 realms was getting more and more interesting. Bang! His legs exploded completely. His arms were also exploding. Fang Ping no longer roared. His eyes were cold as he suddenly broke into the origin. This time, it was Li Zhu's origin that broke in. The moment he broke in, an incomparably huge giant appeared in front of him and said with a smile, "This road is blocked." Bang! Fang Ping's god-slaying saber was sent flying by Li Zhu's palm, its afterimage overflowing. "Fang Ping, you're still not good enough to destroy my origin." Li Zhu smiled faintly. "If you become a real heavenly king, you might have a chance. No, you should repair the god-slaying saber. Maybe there will be a chance. The god-slaying saber right now won't do." Having said that, under Fang Ping's slightly shocked gaze, Li Zhu reached out with one hand and grabbed the god-slaying saber. He squeezed the god-slaying saber until it creaked. He laughed and said, "The broken divine weapon might be good, but it's not enough to deal with me. The Tao is strong enough. No matter how you slash it, you won't be able to break it." Fang Ping's gaze was cold. He knew that he had failed this time. Even if it was a complete divine weapon, he might still fail, because he saw a cauldron that suppressed the origin. Li Zhu's origin world was many times stronger than he had imagined. It was like a real world. An incomparably huge cauldron suppressed the world behind him. The space was much more stable than the other people's origin worlds. Myriad Realms Cauldron. Fang Ping did not continue. The illusion dissipated and returned to his body in the next moment. At this moment, Li Zhu's figure appeared in the distance with a smile on his face. Fang Ping had slashed his Tao. Everyone knew this now. But Fang Ping could not slash him. Without this addition, Fang Ping was actually just an ordinary saint. Of course, he could last longer and had a stronger defense. However, the gap between them was still like heaven and earth. Bang! A saint's token lost its luster completely. In the next moment, the saint's token disappeared and was kept by Fang Ping into the origin world. Bang, bang, bang. A few saints' tokens lost their luster one after another. They could not withstand the pressure from the 3 heavenly kings and were destroyed one after another, returning to the origin world. Fang Ping looked distressed. He looked at the void in the distance and laughed in a low voice. "Want to kill me? Even if I die, don't think you'll have it easy." "Huh," someone sneered. What a big tone. Both King Sun and King Zhen revealed their true forms, their faces cold. With the 3 heavenly kings and Li Zhu, who had broken through 7 times, Fang Ping did not have the confidence to say such words. At this moment, Fang Ping's vitality erupted. Endless origin qi gushed out. King Sun said coldly, "Self-destruct? So what if you self-destruct?" Fang Ping, even those who have broken through 8 times don't dare to be so ostentatious with you. If you die, You will be seeking your own death. Ostentatious. Fong Ping sneered. If I don't kill my way out, I will be the grandson of you bunch of old dogs. If I don't kill until you are terrified, you bunch of old dogs will be like this, afraid of the human race. Fong Ping laughed loudly and said hysterically, It's because I killed until you are terrified that I have today. Fong Ping, will never regret it. The only regret is that I am not strong enough to kill you bunch of old dogs. You are courting death. King Sun's palm landed. With a bang, another saint's token disappeared. The bones in Fong Ping's chest were all shattered. On the other side, King Zhen also smiled and attacked lightly. He said indifferently, Fong Ping, you are going to die soon. Why bother with words? At this moment, Li Zhu grabbed Fong Ping. Fong Ping roared, and his eyes were cold. The aura in his body exploded to the extreme. Even if I die, I will bite you. Rumble. A deafening roar resounded. At the same time, a large amount of origin energy spread out in the air. In the blink of an eye, the origin energy converged into the shape of a human. Looking at King Sun, the human laughed and disappeared. King Sun's expression changed slightly. In the next moment, his body trembled slightly, and some origin chi leaked out from his body. Damn it, King Sun cursed in a low voice. At this moment, the heavens and earth began to tremble. Golden light erupted from everyone's eyes as they stared outside the battlefield. The heavens were falling, and the earth was cracking. A great Tao collapsed. There was no blood rain, but blood clouds gathered. King Sun snorted coldly. No matter how talented he is, he will only be an emperor, heavenly transformation, realm expert, when he dies. Emperor's fall was happening in the outside world. At this moment, Li Zhu's palm was slightly cracked, with blood dripping down. He frowned slightly. This time, it was much easier to ambush and kill Fong Ping. The two heavenly kings kept their heavenly king tokens. At this moment, King Zhen said, The 9 sage tokens and the god-slaying saber are probably lost in the source universe. Before he could finish, Zhang Tao roared at the sky. The great Audiobook shattered. There was a loud boom. The sea-calming heavenly mirror exploded. Sea-guarding emissary. Out of the way. Zhang Tao's eyes were bloodshot. With a roar, he charged toward Li Zhu and the others. Seeing that Zhang Tao had gone berserk, the sea-guarding emissary frowned slightly and did not attack again. Fong Ping was already dead. Since Zhang Tao did not escape, he would let Li Zhu and the others take action. Let's see if they could suppress King Wu completely. Fong Ping is dead. At this moment, Heaven's Fate was also feeling emotional. He looked at the Demon Emperor and smiled. You really didn't do anything. I thought you would. The Demon Emperor glanced at him, his expression indifferent. Then he looked at Zhang Tao, who was charging toward Li Zhu, and the others, then at Heaven Reverse, and the others. He chuckled softly and said nothing. Heaven Reverse, and the others were less vigilant. It seemed that the Demon Emperor would not take action. He did not even react when Fong Ping was killed. From the looks of it, the Demon Emperor had some sort of agreement with Fong Ping, but not with King Wu and the others. Since Fong Ping was dead, the Demon Emperor would naturally not take action for King Wu and the others. Not far away, Feng's avatar frowned slightly and looked over. The great Tao had collapsed and Fong Ping was dead. This was irrefutable evidence. But why did he vaguely feel that something was not right? Unfortunately, this was only his avatar, not his real body. King Wu madly charged in that direction. In the eyes of the others, he was courting death. The human race was really going to decline this time. Of the two newly risen powerhouses, one was dead. Even if the other was not, the others would still suppress him. The demon emperor remained silent. At this time, Li Zhu and the others were also attracted by Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao had gone crazy. Fang Ping, how dare you kill Fang Ping? Today you will all die. Zhang Tao's voice was shrill. He broke through the void and attacked Li Zhu from a distance with a rumble. Energy exploded and vitality spread, radiating for hundreds of miles. Feng's avatar frowned again. They were about to be affected. King Wu was so angry that he lost his sense of propriety. He did not have enough control over his strength. Now, it was spreading so much. At this time, in the distance, Hong Yu frowned slightly. The next moment, he quietly disappeared into the void. At this moment, the demon emperor suddenly raised his head. He looked at Dou Qian, then at Feng, and said lightly, "You don't have to stare at me anymore. It was fine before, but now, if you dare to be presumptuous again, don't blame me." Before he finished, Feng's avatar's expression suddenly changed. He roared, "Retreat! Retreat!" Dou Qian did not understand. At this moment, the demon emperor pulled out his sword and slashed. The celestial terminator and the others were stunned. He did not attack just now, but now he attacked. What was he going to do? Dou Qian was also surprised. No matter how powerful the demon emperor was, he would not be killed so easily. He did not attack when Fang Ping died just now, but now he suddenly attacked. Was he not afraid of being surrounded and attacked? He knew that he might not be a match for the demon emperor. He did not want to be entangled and just retreated. It was not that easy for the demon emperor to kill him. At this moment, Feng's mentality fluctuated wildly again. Origin? What? In the next moment, Dou Qian reacted. Right at this moment, his essence trembled. A silhouette appeared in his origin world. Fang Ping smiled, his expression cold. Holding the god-slaying saber, he slashed it down with a rumble. Not only that, 9 saints' tokens appeared, forming a row and pressing down. Rumble! Half of the small world was destroyed in an instant. Dou Qian's silhouette appeared, his face full of disbelief. Why was Fang Ping here? Was he not dead? Idiot! Mother asterisk cur, trying to kill me. Fortunately, I have the origin soil. I condensed some imperishable substance and put an avatar inside. If you're curious about how the Great Tao collapsed, I have plenty of Great Tao. If you want to see Great Tao collapse, I can let you watch it for a month. In the origin world, Fang Ping cursed. I have plenty of Great Tao. There were many at the origin realm. This time, in order to make them believe, he had even deliberately destroyed an emperor's path. The loss was too great. His real body had indeed self-destructed, but to him, he did not lack imperishable substance. Who cared about real or fake bodies? The origin was still there. If his body was destroyed, so be it. He could just strengthen his forging in the future. The 3 kings were too strong. He could not defeat them. He was looking for a soft target. If not Dou Qian, who else would he pick? Dou Qian's origin body was shocked, surprised, and annoyed. However, in the next moment, a bone-piercing chill even penetrated the origin world. At this moment, a sword gleam even penetrated the origin. In the outside world, the demon emperor's sword slashed down. If Dou Qian was at his peak, he might have been able to avoid it. However, at this time, his origin had been ambushed by Fang Ping. More than half of it was destroyed. There was no time to avoid it. No, Dou Qian's terrified roar resounded everywhere. Why was he always the one getting hurt? He was not the main force this time. At the same time, on the other side, King Wu, who was attacking Li Zhu and the others, suddenly broke into the air and ran. As he ran, he shouted, "Good luck! I'm leaving first." Rumble! Li Zhu's palm fell, but King Wu had already escaped. He no longer had the posture of fighting for his life. Earlier, the three kings were a little afraid of King Wu, who was fighting for his life. Now, however, they were all stunned, ran away. While King Wu was running, Fang Ping's weak golden avatar walked out of the origin world. In the blink of an eye, he broke through the air. He did not even look at Douqian. He directly passed by celestial polarity and broke through the air. Celestial polarity was stunned. He waved his hand. Fang Ping's mentality fluctuated. Don't get involved. Go away. Celestial polarity continued to be stunned. He watched helplessly as Fang Ping slipped away from him. In the end, his raised hand still did not fall. It was 2F** King terrifying. We were just watching the battle. How could we be implicated? This was bullying the weak and fearing the strong, looking for the weak to bully. Douqian was the weakest, so they only dared to trouble him? He did not have time to think. In the distance, someone roared, "Stop him!" But celestial polarity's movements were 100 times slower. Stop him? Stop him! He did not dare. These people were too crazy. At this moment, a loud explosion was heard. A side of the world collapsed. Douqian's golden avatar was shattered. He had been seriously injured when he first came in and had not fully recovered until now. At this moment, he was completely surprised. Fang Ping's sudden attack had destroyed more than half of his origin. The key was not Fang Ping, but the Demon Emperor. At this moment, the Demon Emperor slashed with his sword. It was so powerful that it was shocking. Even the surrounding heavenly kings felt the pain of their golden avatars being torn apart. The debt from 2,500 years ago. It's time to settle it. The Demon Emperor murmured. He slashed with his sword. Without turning his head, he said lightly, "Feng, killing the avatar is useless. Wait for me to kill your main body." As soon as he finished speaking, the Demon Emperor had already disappeared. Feng's avatar's face was livid. Beside him, Douqian's avatar appeared. He looked a little dazed. Then, he looked at Feng with a bitter expression. "Master." Before he finished speaking, there was a loud bang. The avatar exploded. A sky-piercing sword gleam erupted. Feng did not dodge. His face was still livid and scary. Rumble. At this moment, the entire origin world was shaking. Not only this place, but at this moment, the three realms were shaking. At this moment, in the origin universe, a huge star was collapsing. Everywhere was silent. A heavenly king had fallen. Chapter 12:03. The three realms were trembling. In the prime universe, an enormous star was crumbling. The sky darkened. It was pitch black. In the depths of the forbidden sea, Sealed Heaven Island, Feng, who was still fishing, trembled slightly. A huge golden fish in the water instantly shattered, turning into dust. The two maidservants behind Xiao Chen burst out with powerful auras. They revealed pained expressions as they resisted with great difficulty. "Phew!" Feng gently sighed and shook her head. She smiled faintly and said, "After living for so long, you can't even get over this. The more you live, the more you regress." Feng smiled and didn't say anything else. He continued fishing. Dead. Feng was not surprised that all four of his disciples had died. He just felt a little self-deprecating. Was it really like this? The four emperors. The four emperors were not to be trifled with. What about the 9 emperors? The 4 great disciples were all dead. Even Douqian, a heavenly king, was dead. In the 3 realms, who can rule over everything? Feng laughed self-mockingly in his heart. For disciples, for extreme Tao emperors, had died one after another. The first to die was Earth Battle, followed by Perish, then Tyrant, and finally Heaven Defying. Feng continued fishing, but he was calculating something quickly in his mind. Of the 4 great emperors back then, the first to die was Zhan. He wasn't sure if it was annihilation or hegemony, but it seemed like Dou was the last to die. Was the order of his 4 disciples' deaths related to this? You can't seize the opportunity to seize the luck. Does this mean that you're all alive? Dou Qian lived to become a heavenly king, and I thought you were dead. Now that I think about it, that might not be the case. Perhaps you've been alive all this time, watching the show? Feng stared at the surface of the lake, motionlessly like a stone statue. In the water, the golden hook was straight. Those willing to take the bait. Who's fishing? Who was fishing? Who? What did he want to catch in the end? A voice traveled into his ears. Master, there's a strange movement in heaven and earth. It's suspected that a heavenly king has perished. Someone from the St. Martial continent has come to ask which heavenly king has perished. Feng didn't even turn his head as he said indifferently, "Fighting heaven." Eldest senior brother. Behind him, an elder's body trembled. Eldest senior brother had fallen. The sky-sealing bloodline had many successors, but the 4 disciples were the most outstanding. Back then, Dijon's death had shaken the heaven-sealing faction. Not long ago, Yunmie had left the mountain and was killed, causing a sensation on Sealed Sky Island once again. After that, a saint had fallen. It was said that the 2nd senior brother, the tyrant, had fallen, but today, even eldest senior brother at the Heavenly King stage had perished. Behind him, the expressions of the 2 maidservants changed drastically. The 4 great disciples were all dead. Feng did not reply and looked at the lake quietly. Behind him, the disciple who had come to ask questions didn't dare to ask anymore. He was about to leave quietly when he suddenly thought of something and said in a low voice, "Master, Mad Blade of the St. Martial continent has entered the Earth domain and is preparing to kill that cat. Mad Blade sent someone to report that he hopes that the Sealed Sky Island will provide some assistance. I will restrain the God Creation Envoy. They can settle the rest themselves." Feng Hui replied indifferently, "Step down." "Yes, sir." The disciples behind him didn't dare to say another word and carefully retreated. Mad Saber had only sent someone to test Feng Tian's intentions. As for asking for reinforcements, that was not to the extent of it. The catacombs. In the heavenly court, the 9 saints were shocked. After a long time, the governor sighed and said, "There's an 80 to 90% chance that Dou Qian is dead." It should be him. The governor said softly, "The origin stars of Nirvana are not the ones at the top. It should be the new heavenly king. If it's not Dou Qian, then it's Celestial Pole, Moon Spirit, and King Wu. Dou Qian is the most likely." Everyone's hearts trembled. Even a heavenly king was dead. Although Dou Qian was a new heavenly king, he was not weak. It was not difficult for the successor of the heaven-sealing bloodline to seal a saint. If the 9 saints of the catacombs fought against Dou Qian, even if they could win, at least half of them would die. Even so, they might not be able to kill Dou Qian. That guy sealed a saint. There were not 2 people present who were confident that they would not be sealed. Once they were sealed, a saint would be killed with a single blow. Everyone was silent, and they were all deeply worried. The 3 realms had reached the point where even the heavenly kings were in danger. How terrifying! At the same time, at the edge of the Forbidden Sea, a middle-aged man looked up at the sky and sneered after a while, "Dou Qian is dead? This piece of trash lived until now, until he became a heavenly king. He even caused a big commotion. It's not easy." Behind the middle-aged man, a woman walked in the air and followed him silently. The middle-aged man looked impatient. He turned and scolded, "Old woman, if you continue to follow me, I'll hack you to death. Do you believe me?" As he said that, he scolded, "You're crazy!" I finally came out to take a walk. Those idiots, Tengu, helped me block the trouble, so I took advantage of the chaos to escape. You women are good. You even have your eyes on me. After scolding for a while, impatience appeared on the middle-aged man's rough face again. He shouted, "What are you waiting for? Do you want me to hack you to death? Where are you going?" Behind him, the woman did not look like an old woman. She looked more like a young girl. She wore purple clothes and was expressionless. At that moment, she asked, "None of your business." The middle-aged man snorted coldly and said arrogantly, "In this 3 realms, I can go wherever I want. No one can stop me. Where are you going?" "I already said it's none of your business." The middle-aged man became a little irritated. His eyes were fierce as he turned to look at the woman. "Don't think that I won't kill you just because you're a woman." The woman looked at him and did not say anything. However, a weapon that looked like a palace appeared in her hand. The middle-aged man glanced at it and sneered, "What's so great about a divine weapon? If I tell you to scram, then scram. If you continue to follow me, don't blame me for being impolite. Where are you going?" The woman did not seem to know how to say anything else. This time, the middle-aged man became even more irritated and said angrily, "What does it matter to you? Do you want the second heavenly king to fall today?" The purple-clothed woman still looked at him. After a long time, she said coldly, "You still want to kill it? What do you mean by him?" The middle-aged man said angrily, "I can kill whoever I want. Why do you care? You failed to kill it back then, and you want to kill it again? What are you talking about? When have I ever failed to kill someone?" As he said that, the middle-aged man seemed to have thought of something. He looked at the woman suspiciously, and then looked at the palace in her hand. After a long time, he said in surprise, "I almost didn't recognize it. Isn't this that stupid cat's cat palace?" The woman did not say anything. The middle-aged man suddenly laughed and said, "I say, you're in cahoots with that stupid cat. Why? You want revenge. I don't like that stupid cat. It's as fat as a pig. It eats, sleeps, and eats. It only F*** king eats good food." The middle-aged man said angrily, "That stupid cat is extremely daring. It even ate the 9 transformations golden body fruit that I planted. It's lucky that it didn't die." The purple-clothed woman said coldly, "Did you plant it?" "Nonsense. So, what if I didn't plant it? I found it first. I was going to raise it for a few more years before picking it. This stupid cat ate it without saying a word. So what if I killed it?" The middle-aged man said disapprovingly and sneered, "You're not convinced? I've already killed it. What can you do? That stupid dog wanted to kill me back then. In the end, it was so stupid that it dared to run around when the chaos arrived. If it doesn't die, who will? What can it do to me?" The purple-clothed woman did not say anything. After a while, she said, "There are no powerhouses in the 3 realms. The powerhouses are all elsewhere. Heaven's Ceiling Island is 1,000,000 miles away, the St. Martial Continent is 3,000,000 miles away, and the Heavenly Tomb is 5,000,000 miles away." "Shut up," the middle-aged man sneered and said, "You want me to fight these people? Do you think I'll listen to you? The more you fear me going to the human realm, the more I want to go. What do you want?" The purple-clothed woman's voice was cold. The middle-aged man said casually, "I don't want anything. Just scram. No one can threaten me, not even the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors." The woman looked at him for a while and said slowly, "The ancient sealed Chu Wu continent has broken through the seals. There are many powerhouses there. You, the chaotic heavenly king, are said to have fought in the three realms. Do you not dare to fight them? TSK. The middle-aged man snorted disdainfully. Don't play with these things. These are all leftovers from my time. Not to mention the Chu-Wu continent. I've even fought those old antiques in the heavenly tomb. Are you a match for them? The middle-aged man sneered again and ignored her. Of course not. What's wrong with that? I'm not dead yet, right? Although I'm not a match for them, it's fine as long as I'm alive. Didn't I beat those people so badly that they didn't dare to cause trouble for me? The middle-aged man was too lazy to pay attention to this woman. Seeing that the woman followed him again, the middle-aged man exploded. Do you want to die? The woman frowned slightly and asked again, Where are you going? Go to the human world. The middle-aged man said angrily, I'm not trying to kill that stupid cat. A stupid cat can be killed at any time. I heard that the God-forging envoy is in the human world. Go find him and forge a divine artifact. If you dare to follow me, I will really get angry. Forging a god artifact? Do you have the ingredients? None of your business. The middle-aged man scolded. So what if we don't have materials? Does that old fellow dare to not forge for me? If he doesn't want to forge it, I'll just kill him. That's great. I don't even need to forge it anymore. I'll just snatch one at a time. The woman was speechless. This was his style. Since the man said that he wasn't here to kill cats, the woman didn't say anything. She turned and left, piercing through the void and vanishing. The middle-aged man cursed for a while, feeling a little unhappy. If it wasn't because he felt that it was a little troublesome, he would have killed her long ago. The next moment, the man took a step forward and instantly entered a passageway. No one noticed him. At that moment, the passageway trembled slightly. The middle-aged man stomped his foot, and the passageway stopped trembling. But at this moment, an incomparably strong mental strength spread out. The man didn't care and wantonly said, You are the God-forging envoy? No one was there, but his spiritual force had arrived. Chaos? Yo, you even know me. Not bad, not bad. The middle-aged man laughed out loud. It just so happens that I don't need to look for you anymore. Go, forge me a set of divine artifact armor, a divine artifact long blade. That's right, the armor must not be inferior to Sky Emperor Bashan's, and the long blade must also be sharper than the Western Emperor blade. Silence! The God-forging envoy was stunned for a long time, then thought for a while, and said, This old man lacks materials. I have exhausted them all these years. How about this? Go to the Spirit Emperor's dojo and see a somewhat wretched old man. Beat him to death, remove his bones, and I will forge a divine artifact for you. A wretched old man. Who? Heavenly King subduing, a very arrogant fellow. Other than him, you can beat anyone you want to the death of the other heavenly kings. You can even break their bones and bring them here. Of course, breaking 7 is the best. Are you trying to scare me? That's wrong. The God creation envoy condensed his body and laughed. I really lack materials. Otherwise, I would have created it a long time ago. I'm trapped right now, and I can't get out. I can't collect the materials myself. If you go, the more you kill, the more materials you collect, and the stronger the divine artifact you forge will be. The middle-aged man frowned. After a while, he glared at him and said, You old thing, you are up to no good. If you want to forge a god weapon, I don't have the materials, so I won't charge you a forging fee. If you have the ability, bring it to me, and I'll forge it for you. If you don't have the ability, then there's nothing I can do. I can't forge a god weapon out of thin air. The middle-aged man stared at him for a while, rubbed his chin, and said hesitantly, If I dismantle your bones, will you still be able to forge a divine weapon? The God Creation Envoy was still smiling. Although he really wanted to beat this little bastard to death, this little bastard was not weak, and there was something wrong with his head. He dared to fight anyone he met, so there was no point in fighting with him. This old man isn't strong enough. Even if I dismantle the bones, I won't be able to forge a god weapon. Why don't you dismantle a few bones yourself? Am I sick? The middle-aged man sneered. Crazy. Why would I tear apart my own bones to make it? Was there something wrong with him? The God Creation Envoy had a headache. Why did this madman come out? Didn't he disappear when the Earth Emperor Divine Dynasty was established? He had thought that he was trapped somewhere, but who knew that he would come out so soon? Up to you. Go find the location of the fake sky tomb yourself. If you can't enter, then lie in ambush at the entrance. If there's anything else, then kill one. I guarantee that you can forge a few god weapons. If there's nothing else, then this old man will take his leave. After saying this, the God Creation Envoy instantly disappeared. Before the middle-aged man could finish his question, he grabbed towards the void, and in the next moment, the God Creation Envoy was caught. The middle-aged man didn't care about all this, and asked, "Do you think it's better to forge a god weapon with jade bones?" "Of course. Is that so?" The middle-aged man seemed to be deep in thought, and then said, "Is that person from the St. Martial continent a jade bone?" "St. Martial continent," the God Creation Envoy said calmly. "It should be." Back then, the fire god was beaten to death by the cat. That guy inherited his master's orthodoxy, and in the midst of the competition between his senior and junior brothers, he seemed to have forged a jade bone to win the final victory, and established his own St. Martial lineage. What's his approximate strength? I'm afraid there's break 7. The middle-aged man rubbed his chin and began to think. If he broke through to the 7th level, he would definitely have jade bones. Without jade bones, he wouldn't be able to break through to the 7th level. Of course, each bloodline was different, and some didn't walk the path of the physical body, so it was hard to say. However, it wasn't like he didn't know anything about the St. Martial continent. It seemed that he walked the path of the physical body. Thinking of this, the middle-aged man said again, "Did any of the old fellows of the Origin Tao forge jade bones? Will the quality of the jade bones forged by the Origin Tao be better than that of the beginner martial arts?" "That's for sure. The difficulty of the jade bones of the beginner martial arts is slightly lower. The jade bones of the Origin Tao are usually only found after breaking through to the 8th level. Hong Kuan might have succeeded in forging them. Of course, it seems that the Sea Guardian also has this possibility. A little powerful, the middle-aged man fell into deep thought. He grabbed the God Creation Envoy's clone, rubbed it for a while, then casually threw it away, turned around, and walked out of the passage, saying as he walked, "Then I'll go take a look first. I'm warning you, don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. In short, bring back the bone. Hurry up and forge it for me, and prepare to fight for hegemony in the 3 realms. I've become the emperor, and I'll let you forge iron in the future. Isn't it an honor? It's an honor." The God Creation Envoy smiled and watched him leave. After he left, he suddenly cursed. Crazy! If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't want to compete with this madman, he wouldn't have been able to kill him. Why did this madman come out? The God Creation Envoy shook his head slightly, looked at Jiang Hao, who had rushed over, and said casually, "Chaos. This fellow has also come out of the mountain. The 3 realms is really going to be lively now. A heavenly king died today, and a few more might die tomorrow. Your reincarnation is still at the true God realm. I think it's going to be dangerous." Jiang Hao was silent. After a while, he said softly, "It doesn't matter much on his side. This fellow is involved in chaos, and he doesn't care about small matters. The 3 realms shouldn't be too affected. The problem was that on the human side, there were leaks everywhere. Fong Ping and the others were already under great pressure inside. On the outside world, you might not be able to fool them into going to the St. Martial continent to cause trouble. Fong was also eyeing them covetously. If this continued, I'm afraid it would be very troublesome. In the past, the Chu Wu continent was divided into more than 70 lineages. In the past, dozens of lineages had disappeared, but there were still many martial orthodoxies that existed. Once they all return, the God creation envoy laughed, worried about the humans. Jiang Hao was silent for a moment and said slowly, I'm a human. Unquestionable sword is not. Unquestionable sword is unquestionable sword, Jiang Hao said calmly. Perhaps unquestionable sword will disappear completely very soon. This world no longer has unquestionable sword. That's a pity, although the God creation envoy said that he looked down on unquestionable sword. He still sighed when he heard this. He's also a hero of his generation. What a pity. I wonder what you can do after unquestionable sword dies. Jiang Hao did not reply, turned around, and left. The God creation envoy asked, how are Fong Ping and the others? Being chased. The one who died was Do Qian, right? This old man saw the origin star's sword chi explode. Did you kill it? Unquestionable sword killed it. Fong won't let you go. You killed Dijon and Do Qian. He won't let this go. About unquestionable sword. The two of them quickly disappeared in the passageway, and there was no more sound. Until the two of them left, the energy in the passageway let out an explosive sound, and the passageway trembled slightly. The two people who left did not care. The boundary wall had already begun to loosen. Only the last passageway was left. When that passageway opened, it was no longer a passageway, but a complete opening of the celestial and human boundary wall. The boundary wall shattered, and the three realms became one. On the eve of the three realms becoming one, those who should come out would all come out. No one knew how many people would perish on that day. In the fake sky grave, Fong Ping's golden body was dim. The strength of the golden body that was cast later was obviously not as strong as before. The difference was huge. As powerful as he was, his golden body's vitality exceeded 7 million calories, but he was still beaten by those people until he had no choice but to self-destruct. If it were others, it would be difficult to recover without decades. Maybe it would take thousands of years. Fong Ping did not lack imperishable substances, so he could speed up the honing, but it still did not feel good. At this moment, Fong Ping found a place again, made a hole, curled up, burrowed in, and restrained all his aura. At this moment, he did not dare to move, did not dare to tear space. The powerhouses he encountered now were no longer the weaklings he encountered in the past. Tearing space, even a slight fluctuation would attract these people's attention. Fong Ping curled up on the ground, his expression ugly. Killing Do Qian had something to do with him, but the main contributor was the unquestionable sword. He was not interested in thinking about that. At this moment, he was a little annoyed and a little worried. In the outside world, the powerhouses' auras were exploding. Someone was sending voice transmissions everywhere, forcing them to come out. Third Guardian, Sky Plant, Destiny, 5 Saints, go capture the human powerhouses, capture them alive. If they don't obey, kill them. King Qian, Celestial Polarity, seal the space battlefield. Don't let Fong Ping and the others leave this place. Heavenly King's seal suppresses the 4 directions. Li Zhu, you and the rest of us, search with all our might, find Fong Ping and the others. Fong Ping, Zhang Tao, you can't escape. At this moment, the voices of King Kuan and the rest echoed in all directions. Li Zhu's laughter spread across the sky and earth. Fong Ping, Zhang Tao, you say that you don't care about the human powerhouses' lives, but if you capture Netherworld King, War King, and the others and kill them in front of your eyes, can you still hold it in? No one answered. Zhang Tao had also escaped. At this moment, he had concealed all his aura. No one knew where he was hiding, but he did not move at all. On the other side, the Sea Envoy and King Kuan were facing the subduing king. The three of them did not fight. Other than King Kuan giving orders, the Sea Envoy and the subduing king did not say a word. Fong Ping, who was hiding underground, was motionless like a dead man. Voices, however, kept coming. Why don't we break the void, break this world, return to the three realms, and capture people related to Fong Ping and Zhang Tao? If we don't show up for a day, we'll kill millions of people. What do you think? King Sun, Fong Ping muttered in his heart. On the other side, the subduing king seemed a little dejected. A soft sigh echoed in all directions. He said softly, Fong Ping, Zhang Tao, and the other martial artists above the desperate realm, I don't care if they live or die. Good luck. In this world of great competition, everyone is fighting. Life and death are determined by fate. If you dare to slaughter the human race, this old man will fight with all of you to the death. At this moment, the subduing king's gaze pierced through the void and fell on each of the heavenly kings. King Kuan and the Sea Envoy did not say a word. The other heavenly kings also fell silent. The subduing king retracted his gaze and did not speak anymore. He sat cross-legged on a mountain peak, completely lifeless. King Kuan and the Sea Envoy also sat cross-legged in the void, no longer speaking. At this moment, a gust of mentality swept in all directions. Not only mentality, but also origin chi. At this moment, Feng's voice spread in all directions. Fong Ping can restrain his aura, but he can't hide his origin. If you use origin chi to explore the source world, you will definitely sense it. Fong Ping has the source earth. His physical body is destroyed, but the origin is not. If you meet him again, destroy the origin, break the world, cut off the Tao, and completely destroy him. At this moment, origin chi seeped in from all directions. Fong Ping's expression changed. This group of old antiques had more tricks than the catacombs powerhouses. Source world. Yes, if these people's origin chi penetrated the source world, Fong Ping would be easily exposed. Not only that, even if it could not penetrate, it would still be a big problem. If it could not penetrate, it meant that there was resistance. Where did the resistance come from? It must be martial artists. Fong Ping felt depressed. The concealment method and breath concealment method that he had been using were now facing more and more restrictions. I'm fine, old Zhang. Fong Ping was deeply worried. These people were searching aimlessly. The space battlefield was huge. They might not find him soon. However, old Zhang restrained his aura. His aura was weak, but it did not mean that it did not exist. Once it swept past, he would be exposed instantly. All the heavenly kings had reached a consensus. They had to be dealt with first. As for unquestionable Jian, no one knew where he was hiding now. He who had killed a heavenly king was in a lot of trouble now. However, most heavenly kings might not dare to provoke him. Fong Ping and Zhang Tao would definitely be everyone's first target. Even if they were not found immediately, what about the outside world? Fong Ping's expression kept changing. This time, because of his entry, the human race had made all parties completely vigilant and united. These people could unite because of him. Right now, War King and the others outside were in great danger. Even if my strength reaches Heavenly King, I still can't solve the crisis in front of me. Fong Ping gritted his teeth. The only way was to rope in some heavenly kings. But now, he did not even dare to show himself. How could he rope them in? Who could he rope in? Do I still have bargaining chips? Fang Ping asked himself, do I still have bargaining chips that can move people? Move heavenly kings? Maybe. I still have some. Fang Ping replied to himself. The next moment, his body moved slightly. I can't sit and wait for death. If this goes on, I will be discovered sooner or later. I must save myself. Not only do I have to save myself, but I also have to save the human powerhouses. I can't let the human powerhouses die here. P.S. There are still 2 updates today. I'm going to be thick-skinned and promote a new book by a hidden big shot, Old Alley. It's the history of the rise of the minor characters in the Republic of China. Those who are interested can go read it. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.